Salute, 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 HadukenSharon. We're back with another show today. Um, there's a lot to talk about. Very tough day yesterday. A lot of stuff happened. Maybe overreactions. Maybe it's fair to react how we did yesterday. But we are going to be looking at the first Magic game, second Magic game, comparing it, and then we're gonna go over the next few games and see if we have any favorable matchups. Also gonna go through the standings a little, just see where the other teams are looking at right now. Let's see what's up. Oh, my bad. Salute to Julian Blum. I see you in the chat. What's good? Hope everyone is having a great Monday. I'm a little tired. I have a headache, but it's fine. Gonna go through it. Gonna go up for a little. I'm gonna go pull up the games from last two games real quick. Friday game and the game on Sunday. We're gonna compare something that is obviously gonna show why we did bad and why we did good. The first and second game. Pull it up. Yeah, Frederick, what's good, bro? Salute, Frederick. I see you, my guy. Yeah, they are killing RJ, but I mean, it is what it is. It's gonna happen. Shout you guys out. What's good, bro? Salute. Appreciate you for supporting. So let me pull this up real quick. I'm gonna see this. Let's see. Yeah. Zoom in for real for now. I wasn't here to do a show on this game, so I'm just gonna show this game first. But let's look at this game. Go over the box score. See how it looks. All right, looks good. The Knicks won this game versus Orlando Magic, 121-96. We won by 25. RJ played 25 minutes, 3 for 8. He couldn't hit a 3-point shot. 7 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 block, 1 steal, 7 points. Randall had a good game. 30 minutes, 9 for 16. 10 rebounds, 7 assists, 2 steals, 21 points. Mitch, coming off the injury, still playing high amount of minutes. We're going to talk a little bit about him later. 28 minutes, 3 for 5, 9 rebounds, 5 fouls. He only had 6 points. Evan Fournier, 5 for 12, 27 minutes, 4 for 9 from 3. He had 2 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals, 18 points. And that was mainly in the first half. I think he scored 18. He didn't score after that. Kemba, 4 for 8. He made 3 threes, 11 points. Derrick Rose, 4 for 8. 4 for 6 from 3. He only made threes, but he has 7 assists and 0 rebound. 7 assists and 0 turnovers, which is really good. Jericho Sims had 1 good play, and then he had a few rebounds too to go with it, so he did fine for his amount of time. Quickly had I wouldn't say Quickly had a good game, but he kind of came in when we were already up by a lot, and he was just making threes after that. So I'll say he had a decent game. Alec Burks the same. He was just making a lot of threes, like he's supposed to, and he has 7 assists as well with 0 turnovers. Ob 13 points. He did what we were hoping for him to do. He played decent defense as well. He had 13 points. Quentin Grimes came in, made 1 3. No one else scored after that. What's good, M. Grady? Could we have expected to win back-to-back against the same team? I wonder what the league average is. In my personal opinion, I think we should have beat them. I'm gonna talk about it, but I apparently heard that the percentage is usually like low or like not as high for people who play back-to-backs. Just because it's hard to win the second game because the other team tends to play a little harder than you usually expect them to. But yeah, no, that's what we had to go through for the first game. Kind of gonna talk about the first game. The first game, Caller and Sim Show called that 80% of the game. Yeah, I saw that too. That's why I'm saying that I don't really know what it is, but I saw that they said that it was like 80% of the time that that's what usually happens. I don't know if it's true though. It most likely is true, but that is what I heard. Um, but yeah, no, I think okay. So I'm gonna go over the first game first because I wasn't here to talk about it. But the problem with the first game is that I mean, not there was no problem with the first game. Everything looked good. We were flowing. The defense looked fine. Everyone was playing well. The threes were hitting. We actually set the 3-point record in this day. Um, 24, and we shot our record amount of threes for a while. We shot 54 threes, which is something we have not done in a long time. I think we broke the record for threes, and then we broke the record for threes made with 24. Everyone was making threes. We could not miss, and we were just shooting it. Um, it's like the playoffs teams are just heavy. Yeah, that's what I kind of noticed. The way I mean, I'm gonna give props to the new coach they have at the new coach they have in the Orlando Magic that came from the Pelicans. I'm pretty sure either the Pelicans or the Mavs. I don't remember exactly, but I'm gonna shout him out just because he made his team play harder. And the first game, they just looked like they didn't even care about losing when they were down 30. Chop low was good. Salute, salute, salute. Yeah. Make sure to smash that like button if you haven't already. Let's try to get it up. Shout out to everyone that's watching and shout out to the people that are going to watch. Yo, Andrew, what's good? Andrew K, I see you, my guy. What's up? I know you're happy about how Obi has been playing because Obi has actually been playing really well recently compared to last year. He's already gotten his career high, and in this game right here, he could have actually broke his career high again, but he kind of missed a few wide open shots and a lot of free throws. But yeah, the first game we showed a lot of fight. The Magic just stood no fight at all during that game, not at all. Give me a second. Sorry about that. I had to get there was some mail at the door. I had to get that. It's my bad. But yeah, Obi has been doing well. Alec Burks finally had a better game than he had before. Quickly had 16. This is the game he kind of came back. This is like for this game, I was hoping that Quickly and Burks they get to light it up and get good touches so they could do better in the next game. And then continue off for this stretch because we're gonna have a few game stretch next up. It's gonna be a little tough, and we're gonna have to play a lot harder, and we can't make as many mistakes as we did before. M Grady, yeah, I heard that the loss rate is higher for back to back teams after you win the first game. Yeah, it was the Mavs. It was the Mavs. Kemba is toast. What are we gonna do? I mean, I don't think Kemba is necessarily toast. I just think that he's doing decent, and he just can't play too many minutes because his legs are just not letting him to. Yo, Juju92, what's good, bro? Salute, salute. What's good, bro? How you doing? Hope everything is good with you. Yeah, Fournier had it like I said, like this game, I actually don't even have too much to talk about because we did good this game. I mean, the only outlier here is that RJ scored 7 points. But I really didn't care about it because he only shot 8 shots and barely played. It was what it was. I don't really care about this game too much. Stop sharing that game, but now we got to go to the second game. This is the box. I'm gonna show the box score for the second game. This second game is very, very disappointing, and I know everyone is definitely disappointed, and everyone deserves to be disappointed because this is a team we could have easily beat again and went 3-0. We should have definitely been 3-0 right now. Um, Not a lot of teams are 3-0 right now. We should have been that 4 team that is 3-0. So looking at it right now, I'm gonna look at the score. Knicks lose 110-104. All right, my bad. Knicks lose 110-104. Wendell Carter went 5 for 8. He had 11 points, 9 rebounds, basically a double-double, and he had 4 blocks. Franz Wagner had 10 points, 7 rebounds, whatever. He did okay. Mo Bamba had 10 and 13, but he really didn't have a good game compared to the first one because the first one he had like 18 points, something like that. Cole Anthony. Yes, Cole Anthony, who is like 6'2", 6'1", had 16 rebounds. 16 rebounds. And he had 29 points and 8 assists, and he could not miss a 3. He did not miss. He barely missed at all. It was just bad. Jalen Suggs 3 for 9. He's had a pretty bad start to his rookie season, to be honest. Terrence Ross, who I'm really annoyed by and who pissed me off. Wait, let me give you guys some salutes because this is Terrence Ross is really like irritating. Yes, Kemba's defense is really trash. There's nothing you could do to help on Kemba's defense because you're risking someone else's man scoring. Juju19 says Tibbs gonna realize that he's going to have McBride in the mix. I do think from those guards, you really need to have someone in that mix. Like I know you guys love Grimes, so I wouldn't mind Grimes sometimes or McBride. I don't really care whoever you guys want, like whoever he prefers, but sometimes you got to put someone in the mix depending on what's happening because so many people were off this game, and we're gonna look at it right now. But it was just very sad to watch. Naruto, Goku, what's good? What's good? Salute. D-Raz, the biggest troll, one of the biggest trolls I know. Salute, my guy. Yo, Chuck Allen. What's good, Chuck Allen? Hope everything is doing well with you. How could so many players have an off game for the Knicks? Do you guys see this happening often? No, I don't see this happening often, to be honest. I'm about to dive into it real quick. Yeah, my bad. Got a phone call. But yeah, no, it's tough right now. I really miss Theo Pinson, the energy he brought to this team. I'm gonna be honest, Theo Pinson, I wouldn't say I specifically miss him. I wanted him back, but I feel like this team is really like good together right now. Like I feel a lot of them are showing good energy. Everyone's getting up on the bench. Like last year, we had EP a good amount of time in the second half of the season. He wasn't getting up on the bench and clapping and just showing his support for the team. So I think we're fine on that end, to be honest. We got a special guest. You may know him. You most likely know him. He is the host of Blorn's Tears. Uncle Freezy, sipping his pink lemonade. What's good, Uncle Freezy?
Hey, boss man. What's good?
How you doing?
Let me get myself right for this camera. Okay, there we go.
It's looking
How you
good,
doing, bro?
I hear that mixer is starting to be put in well, right?
Man, I'm working on it. I'm working on it. I am so untechy.
The mixer is definitely tough.
Yeah.
And we got another guy joining us right now, Cully. What's good, Cully? What's good, Cully?
What's good, yo? What up, Freezy? What up, Duke? Not to make it about me.
What's good? What's
but
good?
I'm in the hospital right now. But I wanted to join. Duke hit me.
Yeah, hope everything is good with you, bro.
A little bit.
Man, what's going on? You playing hurt, bro?
Yeah, I got crazy stomach pains, but we'll talk about that later. I just wanted to get on and show love.
We all appreciate you, bro. Shout out to you, bro. Everyone, send some hearts in the chat for Cully. I'm gonna go through a few messages real quick. Coach Tibbs missed on in-game adjustments this second game. Then, yeah, I think the thing I didn't understand was him letting Alec Burks in for the last like 8 minutes of the game, even though you got someone you're paying 20 mil on the bench. I know Evan Fournier wasn't having the best game, But he wasn't even having the worst either at the same time. And Alec Burks has really he's been very mid recently.
Yeah.
So I really don't know what he was thinking about that. Jalen Green had a 30-point game. Evan Mobley has looked good. Chris Duarte, who was very surprising. I really did not expect this at all, but Duarte just looks good, for some reason.
Yeah.
And he's getting starting minutes because Karis LeVert and CJ Warren are going to be injured for a minute.
Yeah.
So he's going to look good. T-Jack, what's good, bro? Salute. Yeah, shout out to everyone in the chat. Everyone saying get well too.
Bro, yeah, I see everybody. Thank you, man. I appreciate
Still Knicks fan. I see you, bro. Make sure to check out his podcast as well. Yeah, shout out to everyone that's watching right now. Yeah. Damn, are we this lucky we gotta see Freezy woohoo? No, that's funny. Yeah. Alright, so smash that like button, turn that notification bell on, and subscribe if you haven't already. So how have you guys felt about this game? I mean, I'm going through the scores right now. I'm gonna finish it real quick and then we'll talk about it. I'm on Terrence Ross right now, and I don't like Terrence Ross anymore, and I haven't every single time he plays the Knicks because this man, just look at this 22 points right here. He didn't score in 3 quarters, and then he just scores 22 in the 4th quarter. How does that just happen? I don't understand how we got to be so unlucky that this dude just goes off every single time in crunch time for no reason after we're expected to win the game. And it's very frustrating to see, to be honest. Mo Wagner is a dirty player. I mean, he's been I don't care, to be honest. RJ Hampton missed a lot of wide open shots, but he was getting a good amount of fast break and catching people a lot. Now we got to go to the Knicks side. First, let me shout out my guy in the chat. Foxy. What's good, Steven Fox? Salute. Make sure to check him out on Sports Vibes TV. He's the co-host on the thing right now, so make sure to check that out. Eli M, I see you, bro. Salute. But nah, yeah. Now we gotta go look at the Knicks, and this is very disappointing and sad to see. I don't like seeing this, but RJ Barrett, 5 for 17. 1 for 7 from the 3. 4 rebounds, 5 assists, 1 steal, 12 points. Julius Randle, 8 for 24. 2 for 10 from 3. 16 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals, and 4 blocks on 30 points. Mitch played 33 minutes, but Mitch was falling a lot, and then Suggs ran into his foot really badly. I still get pissed at Tibbs when he just legit put him back in right after that, and it looked like he twisted his ankle really poorly. Tibbs gets me frustrated a lot. Yo, Quiet Money, what's good, bro? I see you. Salute. Next up we got Mitch got 10 points, 10 rebounds, 1 assist, 2 steals, 3 blocks. Good game for him, but he fouled out this game. Evan Fournier, 3 for 11, 2 for 7 from 3. 5 rebounds, 8 points. Bad game. Kemba only played 20 minutes again. 4 for 8, 10 points. Derrick Rose, who was mainly the only person that showed anything next to Mitch, was 9 for 16. 5 for 8 from the 3-point line. 5 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals, 23 points. Taj didn't really do too much. He got 4 rebounds. Alec Burks, again, not a good game. 9 points. Obi didn't do anything. Quickly didn't do anything. All right, now we could talk about the game. So, Steven, what's good, bro? How you guys feel about the game? Who wants to go first?
I'm sorry.
Wait, what was the question?
I thought you were waiting for Cully. I thought you were waiting. I said, how you guys feel about the game?
Oh man, my fault. I'm just reading off the stats. Wait, hold on. I'm sorry. Sorry if it's bad noise. No.
Now you good.
Hold on. All right. How I felt about the game, yo. You say Freezy? You said something?
No.
Nah, you got it.
No, how I felt about the game, yo. Pretty much what you said. I was kind of mad that I feel like Fournier should have been in. I feel like he waited a little too long. I mean, Fournier didn't have the best game. However, I wouldn't have strayed away from the lineup. That was because the most versatile lineup we have is actually that lineup that won. The Wizards game. I mean, that was only a preseason game, but the lineup that won against the Celtics in Double OT. That's the most versatile lineup we probably have, with Obi at the 5 or Red at the 5 and RJ, Fournier, Rose. That line, or maybe throw Grimes in there. If Fournier can't do it, but that's the most versatile I think we have. I think that's the most, and like it seems like it works to end the games, because especially with the spacing, Obi's confidence. Randall gonna get his buckets. Not many fives can guard him. Well, I don't think any fives can really guard him like that because he got the foot speed. Rose has been better than Kemba, and for the most part right now. And Fournier is a high IQ player. Fournier doesn't have to have it going, but he's a high IQ player. He can make the right decision. He don't have to win the game by a bucket. He can make the right pass. And we gonna need RJ for his defense. And he can knock down. RJ can make a big play too as well. So those guys, I think that's a good lineup at the end of games, and I think Tibbs might have waited too long. I don't even know if Tibbs did it at the end of the game, but he waited too long to put that type of lineup in. That's what I think he messed up at.
Yeah, no,
I don't think Burks. I
100%.
think Burks was in a little too long too. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he was in for Fournier a little too long, bro. I definitely think Fournier should have went in. Before you go, Freezy, let me shout out my guy Black Mamba. What's good, Black Mamba? He's actually a Magic fan. He said, yo, what's up, man? GG to your team. Like I said, appreciate y'all letting us have this one. Y'all gonna be all right. I feel as if a lot of y'all overreacting, but Julius Randle ISO ball is concerning. Can't lie. Shout out to him. He's actually he shows a lot of support. I know him from Twitter, and then he started watching everyone's show off recommendation. So shout out to him, bro. But yeah, no, his ISO ball is kind of, to me, worrying at certain situations because just the IQ of it, like the shot IQ is just not good in certain situations, and you just see it from last game. Freezy, you got it. You could talk about whatever you feel was bad this game, because I really don't know anything good about this game.
Dude, you know who my favorite player is, right?
Yeah.
I put HadukenSharon on this guy.
No, you didn't, but continue.
I am an RJ Barrett fan, right? And for those that don't know, I have been saying I wanted RJ Barrett since he was a rising junior in high school.
This is true.
You know what I'm saying? And so there comes a time where you got to discipline your baby. And this loss is all RJ Barrett's fault, period. All RJ Barrett's fault. Because we have a lockdown defender, a guy that held Jason Tatum in check not necessarily 7 for 30, but if you can hold Jason Tatum in check, how can you not hold Terrence Ross in check? How can you come out and shoot 5 for 17 from the floor versus a team that doesn't have good wing defenders? Right? Yeah. How can you be in the Justice League? How do you want to be in the elite player conversation when Superman is bound up with kryptonite and it's your turn to be the hero and you don't show up? You know what I'm saying? You can't say I'm gonna be the franchise player, and then when the franchise needs you, you don't show up. And then we blame other people like, hey man, it's that journeyman Alec Burks' fault. Hey man, it's that 10-year vet Evan Fournier's fault. Nah, bro. It's RJ Barrett's fault. How are we gonna say, hey man, it's Kemba Walker's fault because those knees that we knew about couldn't stop a late lottery pick? You know what I'm saying? At some point, we got to stop pointing the finger at all these different and blame RJ. RJ deserves blame, just like when he does good, RJ gets his praise. We wonder why the national media bash RJ. This is why the national media throws shade at RJ. The Orlando Magic, bro, at home on a Sunday, and you shoot 5 for 17. Who was guarding RJ Barrett? Can anybody? RJ Hampton? Franz Wagner?
Yeah, Franz.
And he's gonna be a really good player, right? But Franz Wagner has his own.
I guess
he's on. Hey man, I would trade something for Franz Wagner right now. I ain't gonna say who. I ain't gonna say who or his number, but I would trade one of our top 10 picks for him right now because he's a 6'9" wing
Wow,
that can shoot the three.
that's
Right?
crazy.
I mean, a 6'9" wing that can defend Andrew, but that's not the conversation, right? The conversation is what did we do to lose this game? RJ Barrett lost this game. Take the blame, RJ Barrett. You 4 for 17 against the Orlando Magic. And in the game prior to that, you only scored 7.
Yeah, I mean, I know exactly what you're talking about. I mean, I'm gonna be honest that him scoring 7 points in the game we blew them out, I didn't care about just because we were up by like 20 or 30, and he played 25 minutes and only took 8 shots. To me, that didn't really matter.
Excuses, right?
You're saying that's excuses?
Excuses, right? Yeah,
That's not excuses though. For that game, that's not
Right.
excuse. This game, there's no excuses. But I'm saying like that game, I didn't care about him scoring to be honest,
I
that
got you.
much. But
Excuses, right?
but this game, he was getting caught in the what's it called? He was getting called backdoor so many times, a few times by Franz Wagner. He was really lazy on defense. He was sleeping on defense, especially in the first half, and then in the second half, he just couldn't guard Terrence Ross, and then he got a bad 3-point foul on him. Terrence Ross.
Terrence freaking Ross.
Yeah, the Knicks killer. He really couldn't guard him. Alec Burks then couldn't guard him either. Nobody could guard him, and he just couldn't miss a shot. He scored 22 points in the fourth quarter, which is just insane. That's just insane because he didn't score at all in the first 3 quarters either. But I'm not saying this is all on him because if you look,
who RJ or Terrence Ross?
No, I'm saying this is not all on RJ. I'm saying this is on Julius Randle shooting 8 for 24 as well. And I'm gonna be honest, the thing that I didn't like about Julius Randle this game is that he was like Stephen Fox said this earlier. What did he say? Let me highlight it. He said we shot 28% from 3 when our shots are not falling. It triggers Randle going ISO. And I think this is true.
I think that's taken out of context. I think that's out of context because that's just looking at the box score, assuming that just because those numbers look like this, then this happened. But nah, what happened is Orlando jumped out on us. We played team ball to get a 13-point lead. The defense disappeared. Orlando chipped away the 13-point lead and took the lead. They had the lead for a while. Julius Randle went ISO to get us back in the game, and nobody said anything about Julius Randle going ISO to get us back in the game. And then Orlando chipped away at the lead because of defense. And then at the end of the game, when we needed a bucket, Julius Randle started going ISO again because it worked the first time. So I think the ISO thing is taken out of context. The bad shots.
I don't think so.
The only bad shots I saw him take 2 bad shots, and that was the rebound in transition where he took the Carmelo 3, the 3 in transition, and there was a break and there was nobody back, and we were down by 3 or 4. You don't take that shot there. You got to get a better shot. You got to chip away at the lead, right? And then one, he just took a 3. He was like, I'm Randall, and just took the superhero 3.
Yeah.
Those are the only 2 bad shots I saw.
The one in the paint was bad too. He took a few bad paint shots. He got fouled on a few of them because he sold it pretty well, but I don't know.
It's RJ Barrett's fault, bro. We can't blame Randall for everything all the time.
He shot 8 for 24. You got to blame. Look
How
at
was
these.
He at the free throw line though?
Yeah, I know the free throw line is a different thing, but let me say this: RJ shot below 30%. Randall shot below 34%, and then Evan Fournier shot 27%. We got 3 of our best players shooting below 35%.
So Evan Fournier is one of our best players now?
Is he not?
No, listen. I just want to clarify because we think. Hey, and sorry, man, I'm eating popcorn, man. I'm really trying to get back in shape so I can start back boxing, man. And so instead of eating like a honey bun, I'm doing popcorn, no salt, red chili flake, and cayenne pepper. So,
oh yeah, that's your snack right there. But we went 37 for 100. Like how does that even happen in a basketball game? How do we miss 63
Barrett.
shots?
RJ Barrett.
All right, you gotta. All right, no, RJ has a blame in this, but I still think this is a
RJ
full
is
team
the
thing.
blame in this, bro.
Give me your reason.
Okay.
Because he has partial blame in this, obviously, just as well as
No,
the rest of
he's
the
the blame,
team.
bro.
Okay, tell me it.
Partial blame? You can't be partial. Like so we coddle RJ, right? And I don't want to sound like Uncle Fulio, because you know Uncle Fulio hate RJ Barrett for some reason, right? I love RJ Barrett, right? But it's like when your baby get a D on the test, and they have been up the night before playing PlayStation. You can't say the test is hard. Oh my God, the test was too hard for those kids. You know what I'm saying? Nah, bro, you have been up playing PlayStation all night and then took the test and got a D. That's your fault. You know what I'm saying? So my thing is with RJ Barrett is we can't just keep RJ in bubble wrap. It's year 3, a game that we needed. Julius Randle was clearly struggling. Was he not? Randle was clearly struggling overall. And your number 2 guy didn't step up. How about we say the number 2 guy didn't step up? And if RJ is if RJ Barrett is not the number 2 guy, then we got to stop having these RJ Barrett is untradeable conversations.
I mean, the thing with I guess we're gonna go to this topic now, but RJ in his first game started off slow. He only shot three shots in his first half. Played good defense that first half. Then the second half, mainly the third quarter, he scored 14 points. He went on a run and started with a 4-near steal to start him off. He had a few threes, 2 dunks, like a layup, and then he was playing great defense the whole entire game. Mainly on Tatum, played great defense, and he did good in the OT, whatever. Josh, you could join the panel, bro. I know you want to talk about this, bro. Just join the panel. Salute to Josh. I already know he's gonna talk about this. We're about to. Guillermo, what's good, bro? What's good, Guillermo?
Man? How you guys doing, man?
I'm a little like I told you yesterday. I'm still a little depressed, but yeah, you already know how it is.
He depressed because RJ Barrett is trash right now.
I already told him that.
Nah, I'm sorry, not to derail your conversation. I had a whole argument with.
Oh, don't worry, I watched it.
Oh my Lord, am I crazy? Like,
he's about to join in too. You could continue having it.
Are we really putting Julius Randle as an elite ISO scorer?
Yo, Uncle Fulio.
One season.
I can't even point it, but right here.
Let me ask the chat. Oh, who we got in the chat? Julian. We got.
No, people are in the chat. Yeah, just ask in the chat though.
Chat, and Josh can answer this if I get this is wrong. Is Julius Randle an elite isolation scorer in the league?
I'm not gonna lie right now. You're talking to like the Freezy is like the Randle extraordinaire right here, and then you got.
But he's the guy who created the question. But let's try to be as objective as possible. I don't even want to say anything to even put anything in anybody's mind. Is Julius Randle an elite isolation scorer in the league?
M. Grady said no.
And please give explanation. I apologize. I know you guys talking about the game. I apologize.
Black Mamba said no either. He's a Magic fan, but he said no. He watches all the Knicks stuff.
No, I think Julius Randle is a very good ISO scorer.
Yes.
Right. But when you mention certain words like elite, you can't put. We're not getting ready to put Julius Randle in the categories with Steph Curry and Damian Lillard. We need to slow down off that.
Yeah, I was listening to it, and it's like when you say elite, I know people were like, "Oh, you can't talk about Joker and KD," but when you're talking about elite, those are the elite guys you got to compare him to. Like everyone in the chat, like they're all saying no.
Is Julius Randle an elite scorer like James Harden? No.
And he's struggling now too, but no. I don't even like James Harden's game. And no.
He's very good, but he's not at elite yet. You got to show that for a few years to be even like considered elite. Like
you can't just throw a random defender on Julius Randle. You can't just throw a Grant Williams against Julius Randle because Julius Randle will eat. Right, you can't throw a Mo Wagner or a Franz Wagner or a Wendell Carter or anybody like that on Randle because Randle will eat. But at the same time, you have to be able to get these buckets when your team needs them, right?
Yeah, no, Kev was funny with that call. I'm sorry.
Thank you, Black Mamba. He said, damn, where did he put it?
It's right here. I put it up on the screen.
And that's one example. But Julius Randle, when we talk about, and it's tough because who are like the top defensive bigs with the Bams, Dre's,
Rudy
Gobert?
You can consider Ben Simmons, Joel.
Didn't Julius Randle have an
AD.
official game against the Jazz? The one we won? Well, he had like 28, but he was like 10 for 20 something or.
Yeah, he also did good against AD. He like smoked AD, and
Yeah,
AD is a defensive player of the year candidate. He did pretty good against Giannis too.
Yeah.
That first game, right?
Yeah, the first game he did good. The second game he didn't play.
Yeah, he also did good against Robert Covington in the Portland game.
He did good or didn't do good?
So the point that I was trying to make, if y'all allow me to chime in on this, is that when you give Julius Randle the ball, you think you're going to get a bucket. He's literally unstoppable one-on-one. He really is. Like, and to me, that's what elite means to me. Like, and I understand what you guys are saying about you have to do it for a few years or whatever. But KD, it didn't take KD 7 years to become an elite isolation scorer. Within that time period, he was dominating. And what I'm saying is Julius Randle is in a period right now where if you give him the ball, no one is stopping him. That's the whole point. That's the reason why I was. Now you can call it. Your definition of elite could be different than my definition. Whatever. You know what I'm saying? But that's where I was coming from with that. You give
That's
Julius
so Navy.
He's gonna score.
That is so Navy right there. So
baby.
waffling.
That's
waffling right there. You sound like John Kerry right now, bro. Your definition can be different.
It's what Roddy Piper said back in the day. Once you have the answers, I change the question. Now it's no longer elite how everybody knows it. Now it's elite, which is fine. If you love with that, they'll be like, all right, well, I have different definitions, so I'm not even gonna sit and argue. But
hey guys, let me ask you a question. Let me ask you guys a question, because we were talking about this when we went off, right? When you think of the word cerebral, when you say someone is a cerebral player, what do you think about?
Dr. Strange.
A really good player. I mean, I don't really hear it too much.
Freezy, what do you think? Cerebral.
I'm thinking analytical, Dr. Strange type, a Doom type.
It's not like special.
Like having resources, but thinking of the game like chess, thinking 6, 7, 8 moves ahead.
Mental, right?
Yeah, and all the possibilities and all the counters to the moves that you have. You know what I'm saying? So it's when you're cerebral. I think Professor Xavier, he got a machine called Cerebro. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yeah.
And Uncle Freezy, when they use cerebrals, now I'm trying to think of baseball. When I've heard, I've heard of cerebral used on guys like who's the outfielder for the Cleveland I heard for Beltran. I heard who's the damn outfielder that used to play in the Cleveland Indians? Grady Sizemore. I've heard it for him. When you think of cerebral, right? You're thinking of guys where baseball, hand-eye coordination. They can hit anything. Manny Ramirez, right? Cerebral. You would never call Manny Ramirez smart.
Right.
But in terms of baseball, in terms of he can read a curveball, he can read a fastball, he can read a split finger. He gets out on a extremely high level, right? Like a natural, right? And I've heard baseball, they use it all the time. Oh, he's cerebral, he's a natural, right? In the world of sports, obviously, if you're talking about somebody being cerebral, Professor Xavier, he's a smart aleck, or not smart, he's an intelligent being. But in the sports world, when you're cerebral, you're talking about Jordan, Kobe, you're talking about guys who get to their spots at an elite level because they understand the game on a high level, but it encompasses everything of them as play. Because you never hear them say, "Yeah, Pablo Prigioni, he was a cerebral player." Nah, he was a smart player, but he wasn't cerebral. Like he get to his spots and he can execute on a high level because he understands. No, he's a smart. Boris Diaw, extremely smart player, but you would never say he's cerebral. So let's be honest about the context with which cerebral is used. And I will find clips online of people of announcers saying cerebral and using it on Albert Bell, craziest Jokic, cerebral, but you'll never say cerebral on freaking Myron Rolle, who was a freaking Rhodes Scholar in college. He didn't make the NFL. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Come on.
Cerebral has everything to do with intellect and you being able to know where your spots are, particularly if you're talking about basketball, knowing where your spots are, knowing what pitch is coming, like Manny Ramirez or say an Albert Bell. You have to know that. That's something mental. That's not like we were talking about. The reason why, hold on, time out. When I'm talking, Shane Battier was a cerebral defender.
I've never heard them use Shane Battier cerebral in terms of his offense, despite the fact that
I'm talking about the word cerebral in the context of sports.
Excellently played off the ball. Because he can't get to the spots. He's not that natural player. He's a smart
defense,
player, but he can't.
defense.
I'm not.
Cerebral defender.
I'm saying that. You never,
wait. Go one by one.
Shane Battier was a smart player, right?
Right.
They never used Shane Battier being cerebral in offense. Why? Because he couldn't get to the spot. He knew what a spot's supposed to be, but he couldn't take you off the dribble.
Right.
So they never used it on him.
You said cerebral in the world of sports, like in context, right? That's what we're talking about. I'm not talking about specifically on offense. I said Shane Battier was a cerebral defender because he was smart on defense, not offense. Cerebral defender.
Okay. Sorry, I mean, coach. I'm sorry.
I'm done.
So,
coach, that's good, coach.
Ask coach, please. Ask coach. Coach is
sincere. I see you, bro.
Is Julius Randle an elite? Is he an elite isolation player?
No.
Thank you. No. Still Knicks. Knicks said it.
I'm telling you, a lot of
them
use
cerebral on guys who can't execute at the high level those guys can in the NBA. They never use that on those guys because they can't execute, despite the fact of cerebral. They're using the pure textbook definition of it. They don't in basketball. They don't in sports. They typically say that's to say that this guy's a natural. He gets to the spots. He can play the game on a higher level because for whatever reason, his body and his mind are in sync on a higher level than everybody else. So using soccer, coach could talk to it. You talk about Messi. You talk about Ronaldo. Elite players who are probably not smart at all in terms of, but they play. They're naturals at the game. They call them cerebral. So there's context to it. If you want to use someone said they cerebrally killing
Frederick.
Frederick. I apologize to Duke. I didn't mean to.
It's good. Coach said no. He's pretty good. He's a pretty good one though, not elite. I agree with that. I feel like that's not even bad to say. Like I agree with that.
Hey, Hadouken, let me ask you this then.
Go ahead.
If Julius Randle is an elite ISO scorer, how come he doesn't have multiple 40-point games?
If you're a cerebral scorer at the same time, you got to be able to score like crazy against anyone, no matter who it is.
An elite ISO scorer.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but it's being mixed up here. We were talking about elite and we're talking about cerebral. It's two different things, right?
Yeah, I meant to rephrase that. If he's an elite ISO scorer.
So Legion came in, right, and he asked the question that is Julius Randle an elite ISO scorer, right? Most people say no. I say I think he is because I don't think anybody can stop him one-on-one. That's just my opinion. But then the word cerebral got thrown in there. I'm trying to figure out what cerebral fits in. So are you saying, and this is a question.
You asked the question, so you could just take that.
Let me ask you a question. I'm asking you a question right now because we were talking about elite offensive isolation scorer for Julius Randle, and then the word cerebral got brought in. I'm trying to figure out where cerebral gets brought into that. Are you saying that in order for you to be elite, you have to be cerebral?
No, I even said in the other show. I said there are two examples of guys who are not cerebral. Like Giannis is not a so-called cerebral scorer, right? And even Kawhi Leonard, when he came into the game, he did. But I guess in different context, when we talk about Sim and guys developing, he didn't come in as a cerebral scorer. He is now when he's healthy. So you don't have to. Yeah, but the vast majority of elite ISO scorers are cerebral players. That's why I said Devin Booker didn't start at UK, and everybody saw that he was going to be, that there was something special about him, even though he didn't get drafted first, right? But there are enough people to say, yo, this guy's going to be a beast in the NBA. Paul George, when he's in Indiana, everybody's like, yo, he's an elite isolation scorer. He may not be creating other parts of his game, but he's an elite isolation scorer.
Can I ask you a follow-up question now? It's a follow-up question. So if you don't have to be cerebral in order to be elite, how does cerebral even come into the conversation? I'm still trying to figure that part out.
Because when on the other thing, Sim tried to use that as like the only criteria, and I said no. I just mentioned cerebral as an adjective to describe the elite, the top scorers. I didn't say that was the only thing. I just said when you look at some of these guys in the league, the elite isolation scorers, the Steph Currys, the Dame Lillards, they are cerebral in how they attack the back. Their offenses, they understand the game on 3, 4, 5 dimensions, right? Randall's not there. So that's how cerebral got thrown in it. Sim was trying to make it seem like I'm using that as the only criteria or like this, you have to be that. And I wasn't. I was just using that as
that was my point. And this is what Quiet Money was saying. And with if you highlight that super chat again, Hadouken, he said that Giannis is not cerebral, but he's unstoppable one-on-one. I feel you give Julius Randle the ball one-on-one, you're not stopping Julius Randle. You're not. Maybe he'll have a few games where he won't score or whatever the case may be. But 90% of the time, Julius Randle is going to get his. And if he doesn't score, he's going to get to the foul line. That's
But
Julius Randle.
the thing with him too is if he was that too, like people wouldn't be saying like he needs to go more to one side of his hand, and you gotta like guard him more.
Well, I don't agree with that either. But I don't agree with that.
No, I'm not saying. No, I'm not saying. I'm saying that's what a lot of people are saying. That's not what people say to elite scorers and elite guys like that, because you don't have to worry about where they're scoring from, where they're getting to the basket, how they're getting their buckets. So I feel like that's the way in which you can see it too in a different aspect, because you're not worrying about where KD is shooting from wherever spot he wants. Same for Jokic, same for Curry.
Dude.
Like Curry shoots from the low, like that's where I think people like you take it to the next level. Like in that aspect, people aren't going to be asking and questioning whether you can score in certain spots.
Well, let me throw this in just real quick.
I would say he's dominant in the paint.
The reason why Giannis is unstoppable and Julius is unstoppable is because they have clear physical gifts that don't require them to think and set up defenders.
So they're not cerebral. They're not cerebral, but they're unstoppable.
Right. Like Shaquille O'Neal was unstoppable. But would you say his game was comparable to Tim Duncan, who was cerebral, who was
if you look again, and I hated Shaq growing up. So when he was on the Lakers, Shaq, when you talk about his footwork, very underrated, cerebral. But it's just that he was a physically dominant. So it did not look like he's just going out there and just box him in. Go look at his footwork.
Okay.
Some of the best footwork you've seen is just that he's big and he's just he was an uber dominant player.
Right.
But he had great footwork.
Can I respond to that? That's not cerebral, though. Cerebral is not physical. Cerebral's mental. Shaq had the physical gifts of being dominant, physically big, upper body, but his footwork is a physical gift. That's not cerebral. Cerebral is knowing how to use that footwork, knowing how to use his body.
Yes, and he did. You just said it. Yes, he knew how to use the footwork.
Understand what I'm saying? I'm not disagreeing with you. What I'm saying is the question was asked about the comparison was made between Shaq and Tim Duncan. Tim Duncan is a more cerebral player than Shaq.
Agreed.
Shaq is more physically gifted.
Right.
That's the difference. Cerebral is mental.
I agree that.
And not with just size though either.
I'm just saying to Freezy, because Freezy, and I'm not attacking Freezy, just that Freezy said that he wasn't. I'm saying that I think that he was actually that.
Freezy never said that he wasn't. He said that Tim Duncan's more.
But to Freezy's point, right? When you were about to talk about Shaq, you're going to talk about his physicality. I was just going to mention that he actually did have those moves. So I'm not saying you didn't say. I'm just saying, obviously Tim Duncan was way more cerebral than
My point was one guy had to be and the other guy didn't have to be. You know what I'm saying? Like Shaq wasn't just big. Shaq was mobile and agile at his size. That's what made him dominant, because big guys always come along. You see big guys all over the place. But the combination of size and speed and agility and things. So,
you know where to be at every time.
Yeah.
You pick the right spot. And Tim Duncan had the fundamentals as well. One of the best fundamentals like a big man can have. That's what Tim Duncan had along with that. So that's what you could add on to it. Let me say salute to a few people. Hardwell, bro, salute. Make sure to check out For the Love of the Game.
Hardwell's good.
My guy Matthew, bro, what's good? Salute. Still Knicks fan is in here.
Stephen Fox was good. I ain't shout out Stephen Fox.
Yeah, Coach Color Blocks was good. If you haven't yet, make sure to smash that like button. Subscribe if you're new. Turn the notification bells on. You guys can continue talking about this if you want. We could go on to the next thing. You guys
kind of played out. I mean, I wanted to join for the RJ thing, but
I want to ask Uncle Fulio about the RJ.
Yeah, we could go back to the RJ thing.
I know Uncle Fulio loves RJ Barrett, right? But this game yesterday was all RJ Barrett's fault.
I don't agree with that.
All of it. And the reason why I was telling Duke, right? You can't say that you're the number 2 guy and you're the future of the franchise when in games like this where the number 1 option is struggling, the man is struggling, and the number 2 guy disappears. Because you can't point to one thing in this game that played to RJ's strength. Was it RJ Barrett guarding Terrence Ross? That wasn't a factor because Terrence Ross scored 22 points in the fourth quarter. Was it RJ Barrett's offense? Was it his 3-point shooting that was at sometimes last year elite? That didn't show up yesterday. You know what I'm saying? So now you're to think, well, what did RJ Barrett do in this game to help his team win? Nothing.
Al Jordan salute, bro.
Nothing. And so I was telling, I'm the biggest RJ. I remember saying on Sim's show, and some wild crazy dude with wild hair started yelling at me, right? I said, Sim, stop what you're doing right now. trade Joakim Noah and tank for RJ Barrett. And the chat said, who the hell is RJ Barrett? When RJ Barrett was a rising junior in high school. I got clowned for that, right? I've been an RJ Barrett since before everybody else got on the bandwagon, since before RJ Barrett played at Duke, right? So I don't hate RJ Barrett like Uncle Julio. You know what I'm saying? My thing is you gotta hold people accountable at some point. This is RJ Barrett's 3rd season in the NBA, right? If he's gonna become who we want him to become, you have to start showing signs of becoming that thing. That's what I was getting at.
Yeah, I mean, like I said before, like I understand that, but at the same time, you can't give him the blame when the guy we paid, like Tibbs didn't play the guy we played 20 mil at the end of the last 8 minutes of the game, and he shot below 30%. Then Randall shot 8 for 24, and the whole team just didn't play defense the whole entire game. Like
Dude,
that's why I
they only
can't.
scored
That's why I
110,
can't
bro.
blame him.
They didn't score 145. They scored 110.
I mean, I know they didn't score as much as people thought, but at the same time, they were down and they came back.
Dude,
And they started off the
40%.
fourth quarter. They started off the fourth quarter with a 12-0 run. You can't blame that
Because
on him.
of
Like you
RJ
can't do
Barrett.
that. Nah, come on, you can't do that.
Dude,
But
you legit sound like the father at the school play, like when the son mess something up. Not my baby do nothing wrong. That's what you sound like right now.
Nah, you can ask Guillermo because I was talking with him after the game. I was saying like this dude he was just trash yesterday. I have nothing for it. He was just trash yesterday.
Was he trash yesterday or has he been trash all season?
Can I
just yesterday, to be honest.
Can I offer my opinion on this? So what Freezy said about RJ Barrett as far as him being the 2nd best player on the team, that was last season, and that's why I had some of those gripes that I had last season during some of those games, was because the Knicks needed RJ Barrett. You know, because they were so limited with their scoring, they needed someone else outside of Randall who they can give the ball to and say, you know, we need a bucket, right? And that wasn't RJ Barrett. Now he came on towards the late in the season, he became more of a shooter, and you know, I was wrong about him early on. He turned up with shooting 100%. I definitely concede that. But last season, I think that applies, Freezy, what you said. As far as last night, no, it doesn't apply because the Knicks have better scorers on the team now that can be able to score outside of RJ Barrett and Julius. So yesterday's game was not on RJ Barrett. It was a collective wing defense. We were terrible on the wing defense, and that was something I had a gripe towards the beginning in the preseason, right? And to me, RJ Barrett hasn't shown to be that guy yet to consistently stop opposing guards and wings. He's not that guy yet. I'm still waiting to see that, and you know, I haven't seen it yet.
Speaking of RJ, I'm actually gonna put up a video about him talking about his early struggles. It was posted a little earlier. Let me put it up right now. Let me know if you guys can hear it when I put it on. You guys can see it, right?
Yeah.
All right. Go here.
I don't know why.
All right, can you guys hear it?
Yeah.
I don't know why. This 3rd year in a row I started like this. I don't know, but you know, I'm a guy that I never give up. I never quit. You know, so whatever it is, I'll figure it out. God's blessed me with that ability. So yeah.
Do you learn through? I mean, the struggle is the
Mhm.
beginning. I mean, is that what you say you learn the things a little hard?
Yeah, you know, I love basketball. So you know, whenever like I'm struggling or whenever I'm doing well, I like to go back. I watch all the games. I watch film. You know, I'm on League Pass watching all the teams play. I love basketball. So, you know, we have great staff here. I just got to figure it out. That's really it.
Okay.
Honestly, the biggest part I've really been trying to work on is just my defense. You know, I want to be I want to be first team all defense. I want to be these things. I want to be that guy for this team. So just looking at that, can't give up anything easy. Just try to make every night a struggle for anybody I'm guarding.
Okay. Okay. Duke, we can't hear you, Duke.
My bad. I do think in general though, just like he said, like every season he has been playing for the Knicks, he has started off slow. I think it just happened every single time, just like he said. And I do hope in the next few games it goes up. I feel like in the Philly game, at least, especially with Ben Simmons out, I think he should have an easier time scoring. But yeah, you guys take anything from that? He also said he wants to be on first team all defense this year, which is one of his main goals. And I was saying this a few shows ago, but I do think he's gonna get a few votes to be at least on the second team, and I think that would be really good for him, especially this year, because we don't have that wing defender anymore. That is just gonna guard everyone. He's gonna be that guy that's gonna guard the main small forward.
Hey, dude, can I ask you a question?
Yeah, go ahead.
So why do people think Reggie Bullock is a better wing defender than RJ Barrett when NBA.com clearly has stats that show that RJ Barrett, in terms of defensive win shares, was rated a better defender than Reggie Bullock?
I'll tell you why.
Yeah, because RJ Barrett was ranked 5th and Reggie Bullock was ranked 18th.
Oh, you want to answer, Josh?
Yeah, I'll tell you why.
Yeah, go ahead.
Because Reggie Bullock last year, the way they used Reggie Bullock on defense, they were able to switch him. They were able to use him in multiple sets. He consistently guarded the opposing team's best wing player. RJ Barrett hasn't done that yet. And I get it's only been 3 games, but so far, he's not, that dude.
Right.
And people often point to the Boston game where Tatum was, whatever he shot, shot poorly from the field or whatever. But to me, that was more of Jason Tatum just missing shots. I'm not saying RJ Barrett didn't play. I'm not saying RJ Barrett didn't play, solid, good defense or whatever the case may be. But 9 times out of 10, Jason Tatum is going to hit those shots. Like at the end of the first regulation, that's money for Jason Tatum. 9 times out of 10.
I mean, that game, I do think that a good amount of shots that Tatum did shoot, he usually makes, but at the same time, the goal for me was for RJ to at least contest and make it hard for him to make those shots, which he did for me for a decent portion of the game, especially at the end of the fourth quarter and the last shot, and then just like tough shots at the end of the game. But Reggie was, just like Coach said here, he said Reggie was the help defender who kept the team's defense shape. He wasn't a 1v1 type of guy.
Hey, Coach Color Blocks, I'm sorry, Hadouken. Do you remember the game against Orlando? You remember the game against Orlando where he took the ball out of Evan Fournier's hands?
Who?
Reggie Bullock. And we won the game off of that one play.
Yeah, okay, one play. And then the game.
That's something that Reggie Bullock was doing for the majority of the season towards the end of the games. He was guarding the opposing team's best wing player. So, yes, he was a one-on-one guy.
I don't think he was mainly a one-on-one type of guy, though. Like, he was still getting scored on a lot. Like, we could look at the game where Devin Booker was kind of cooking him a lot, especially during the lane.
As he should. As he should.
Yeah, but I don't know. He was really good as a help defender because he would switch on a lot, and then RJ would have the sides, if anything, and then they would switch. But now it's mainly just RJ because Evan Fournier. You just saw Evan Fournier literally had Jaylen Brown drop 30 something on him out of his 46 points in the first game, and RJ is gonna have a lot to do with it. And I do think that RJ is kind of transitioning too right now because of Evan Fournier coming in and kind of taking that role right now, as if that like stop and pop, or like a thing that Reggie and Randall did a lot last season. That's kind of what Fournier and Randall are doing right now, and you're seeing it a lot every single game. He's getting that little pick, and then he passes it straight to Fournier for that 3. And you saw it in the OT win. He did that a few times too, and he made a lot of 3s from that. And you're seeing that every single game. So I do think that RJ is kind of transitioning a little right now and trying to find where he's really at. And another thing is that I know he took 17 shots this game. He was 5 for 17, but towards the end, like 4 of them were chucks. A lot of the team was kind of chucking at the end, but I want to see more touches in the beginning of the game for RJ. Like do some pick and rolls, do that thing. Like Guillermo posted on Twitter too, and we were talking about it yesterday. I want Randall and RJ to do that type of play that they did when RJ passed him the ball and RJ just straight cut. He got a dunk, he dunked it. I need them to do
the give and go.
The give and go. I need them to do types of plays like that. I need them to run pick and rolls or just try to find him more in the beginning of the game so he could catch like some type of flow during the game, because he's not really getting a lot of shots in the first half, and then in the second half he's coming in and getting like a little bit more shots, and it's kind of off rhythm.
So big dog. Okay, so if you do that, if you keep making excuses for RJ and keep having to give
Yo,
him the
what are
baby
you?
bottle, you know what I'm saying? What do you do? Because
Yo, you're such a troll. I don't.
nah, bro. I'm talking about what. So what do you do about Kemba time? Because that time that you mentioned that we should
What Kemba
get
time?
RJ involved is usually the time that Kemba is getting into the flow. Like Kemba comes out at the beginning of the games and sets the tone for the offense. You know what I'm saying? And you see him score a bunch of points early on, and not a bunch, but score early on and get others involved. So the defense has to focus on the offense from the point of attack as opposed to just coming out and focus on Randall. Right? So now if you take that out of Kemba's hand and coddle your boy RJ, how does that affect the offense?
I mean, I don't really think it truly affects it too much because Kemba is mainly like shooting threes off the pick, or he's like dribbling and shooting threes. I don't think it really affects it too much. I think you get RJ touches to get more into the lane in the beginning of the game, especially. I don't think it has to necessarily just be threes or pull-ups. Like, I think like there was like 2 mid ranges that RJ shot, which I like the shot of, but he just missed. Like I'm liking the type of shots he's taking, but then the pull-ups from the 3 that he was taking on the wings, he was just like not hitting them at all. And I'm just hoping in the next few games he's gonna start hitting them more. This next few games against the Sixers, then we got I think the Bulls and we got the Raptors. Like he is gonna have to start to hit those shots. And I really do think that he's gonna come into his own in the next few games.
Am I saving popcorn for later in my beard?
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like it.
It's gone. Yeah, it's gone now though.
So Hadouken, you said earlier you were laughing at the call that Cornerstone made.
Yo, that was so funny. I was trolling in the chat. I was like, yeah, go at him, but that was so funny.
No, because Cornerstone is just like all extra with it. Like, oh, you just want to trade all of our team, huh? You want to get rid of the whole team, which is not true. That's not what I said at all. Like I said, RJ Barrett is a really good role player for this team, and everyone just lost their mind. Like, oh my goodness, like, jeez Louise.
And then Nate was saying that you might have to trade him soon.
Listen, Nate is
different, but
he's
different. Nate was getting a lot of people mad, including me, because I'll be honest, like the things he was saying, was something out of control. But I do think that in these next few games, though, he's gonna pick it up. I think it's just in due time. He's gonna have one of those games where he's gonna start going off, and then the flow is gonna start to hit. Because the last 2 games he's been 1 for 12 from 3, and that's just not good. He shot 3 for 7 the first game, and now he's 1 for 12 for his last 2 games. Saying like Andrew K, he's like 21, he's dedicated. Whatever. I do think we're still lucky we have RJ because he has been doing still a good job on the defensive end, whether it's stops and things like that. He is getting caught a few times, but I mean he's basically our only wing defender right now.
Can I ask you a hypothetical question? If I were to compare RJ Barrett and his career trajectory to someone like Andre Iguodala, how would you feel about that?
Andre Iguodala.
Yeah. No. That's a question. I'm asking. That's the question.
I mean, I'm trying to think. I mean, I know he was like. I mean, he was going off in the 76ers, but that was like. I mean, I don't know in what way, like a defender and just like a.
Just period. Like if RJ Barrett plays that type of role. You know what I'm saying? You know, like a Golden State Warriors kind of role. Would you be upset
on the Warriors? I would, because I feel like they're I would be mad just because I know they're wasting some scoring potential.
Okay, now this is what I have to say about that, and the reason why I bring Andre Iguodala up. Andre Iguodala was an important role player on the Warriors that just so happened to win Finals MVP, right? And he won Finals MVP. Because he was able to guard LeBron James. He didn't stop him. LeBron still had a
I still think Curry should have gotten that Finals MVP.
Yeah, I think it was LeBron. Even though they lost, LeBron was just still phenomenal in that series. That's just my opinion. I know they lost or whatever. But my point is, the reason why I bring that up is because if RJ Barrett plays that role, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. But he's a role player, right? He would be a role player in that context, right? A really good role player.
I mean, I guess. I mean, he's still a starter. I don't know. I know what you're trying to say, but I don't really look at him as a role player, to be honest.
Okay.
I don't think. Guillermo, you're muted.
You're muted.
Guillermo, you're muted. Muted.
Okay.
We're comparing RJ Barrett, who literally averaged in his second season 17, 41, and 44. A guy who's not known to shoot, comparing that to a guy who had his heyday as an inefficient slasher and then found himself on the Warriors. Like,
I didn't compare them at all.
But you're saying you talking about Iguodala, right?
I asked the question. I said, how would you feel if I say that's RJ Barrett's role? How would you feel about that?
Well, I mean, you're bringing it up because you think that way, right? Because you obviously wouldn't. If you didn't think, you wouldn't bring it up, right?
No, I don't.
So why'd you bring it up? What was the point?
I asked the question because people had this thing about role player. When I said role player, RJ Barrett is a really good role player for this team. I brought up someone like Andre Iguodala, who was an important role player for the team, but he won Finals MVP.
You don't bring up a role player. You can bring up a role player like a Mikal Bridges. That's probably better. Because Iguodala at that point was coming off the bench and like a facilitating, defending sometimes. He did improve his shooting, but again, I don't know. I just feel like there are a lot of people just trying to find a way for RJ Barrett. And granted, if you like him, you like him. If you don't, you don't. But it's like, just take the hard line and say you don't like him. And say, look, I don't like his game. He's doing well. I don't like his game. He might be doing bad. But like to say he has to be this or be that, like the Iguodala comparison is kind of dumb because when Iguodala became a role player, that was later in his career.
Yep.
When he was kind of done. Now, apologize. I say done, but done is a number one
as a scorer, yeah.
Dunn is a franchise player.
Jim Korver, Lou Williams tried that in Philly. It didn't work. But I just feel like a lot of people, and I hate saying this because I feel like I'm biased towards RJ, but I've heard people put so much on RJ, like RJ, he ain't Kobe, he ain't this. Like, who the F is comparing him to that? Like, just
hold on, time out. All right, no, finish. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Well, you're getting angry because I'm not talking about you.
Go ahead.
There have been people that have compared RJ Barrett to the Kobe's. There have been people that have compared RJ Barrett to, look at like the tweet yesterday. Look at these three, all the number 3 picks, and what's the spot the difference, something like that. Whatever you can say.
Oh yeah, they were.
Like you have drafts, like you literally have drafts in certain years where your top 3 players aren't good.
Yep.
Like sitting there trying to compare because the number 3 pick is like I don't know. I just feel. I feel RJ's in a hard spot because his playing style is not attractive, so people just write him off. But if you look at his production compared to some of these other guys that we love so much, not saying he's going to be elite, not saying he's going to be up there, but it's a lot better. And given the circumstances that he's under now, he has a lot more pieces around him. Last season, he really didn't have much around him. He still improved despite the fact he wasn't a good shooter. Like, I don't know. I just feel like people need to be a little bit patient with RJ Barrett. You may not like his playing. Like, I didn't like Randall's playing style. He changed his game around. I still don't like his playing style per se. I give him all his flowers. He's our most important player. He's done well. If he has a bad game like he had yesterday, if he had the bad playoff series, Haduken, you were there. When people said, Randall, he sucks, he should be traded. I'm like, dogs, it's one playoff series. And Tom Thibodeau gave him no adjustments. Right. You know what I mean? But Randall has changed his game around. So I think with RJ Barrett, let's be a little bit patient. One little tweak around the rim, and he's a 20-point scorer. One tweak. So.
All right, so to respond to that, so you mentioned you feel like people need to take a hard line. I gave my opinion on RJ Barrett already. I'm not running from it. I'm not backing down from it.
No, you ran from it.
Yeah,
you kind of. Because you got in a whole show with Haduken. I remember last season, and you could feel whatever way about RJ Barrett. He wasn't playing well. That's valid. He was playing like trash. But you literally went on Haduken's show. The controversy. And you literally said, I like RJ. People keep killing me about this, blah, blah, blah. But
I do like RJ.
Night in, night out on NBK, you literally found, let me say night out, when RJ Barrett was struggling.
He was struggling. You want me to bake them cookies? You cut me off. You cut me off, and you ain't allowed me to finish.
When RJ Barrett was starting to do good, just a little bit, you still find ways, but you expect him to be the number 2 guy, blah, blah. How about all the fact that the Knicks drafted so many players before RJ Barrett, or not so many, other players behind RJ Barrett, and they didn't pan out to nothing. And so the onus is on RJ Barrett even more because Kevin Knox didn't pan out. Kevin Knox, the guy that you wanted to put or switch RJ Barrett to. Remember that argument? You want to switch RJ Barrett for Kevin Knox, by the way. So Kevin Knox didn't pan out. Frank didn't pan out. All these other guys supposed to contribute did not pan out. The onus is now on RJ Barrett, who should in his first and second year should be gunning and it should be like, let him shoot it out. Let's try to develop him. Yeah, now you have a playoff team, or the second year, you have a playoff team, and RJ Barrett has to step up, and there's no context provided for that. It's RJ Barrett ain't doing this. RJ Barrett ain't doing that. We had a guy, Alfred Payne, who was a 0 on offense. Think about this. Your best player is Julius Randle, and then down the line, all these draft picks suck. Reggie Bullock is a role player. He shouldn't even be starting if you really think about it. And Elfrid Payton is trash. So the onus is on a second-year player who came out of college with all these flaws. Like, it's just there's no
and the worst spacing in the league
You sat
at the
there on the
same time.
controversy. I'm not issuing you, but you sat on the controversy trying to make it seem like, oh, I don't know why people trying to come at me. It's like, no, you're switching up now, man. If you feel RJ Barrett's not that, he's not that then. But say, okay, if you want to say, oh, he's improved, that's fine. But to make it seem like you're the victim now, you were leading the RJ Barrett brigade to go to the bench.
Oh wow, Uncle Julio, you MC Hammer now. You the shiny suit dude now, and then change to a gangster.
So
you switching up your stance on RJ Barrett.
And put like this. I'll say on the flip side, when Julius Randle was here the first year, I was not a fan of him. I was not a fan of him at all.
You wanted to trade him. You wanted to trade him.
Yes.
You also wanted to trade RJ Barrett. I got the clip, but I'm not gonna pull it out right now.
I want to trade RJ Barrett. Hadouken,
I have the clip. I have the clip. I have it.
I want to trade RJ Barrett. Hadouken, I want to trade.
I don't know. I never heard that.
I have the clip. I have it.
Please provide. I want to trade RJ Barrett when?
Like a year and a half ago. But it's
the only time we talked about.
Can I finish? Can I finish, Dan? What I was gonna say?
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
You're like, you want to do like, all right. First and foremost, like, here's my thing with RJ Barrett, and I was very, very clear, right? RJ Barrett to me is not untradeable. I've always said that, and I stand by what I said. I still stand behind it. I'm not backtracking from that at all, right? That's first and foremost. I like the way RJ Barrett's playing right now. I think for his role in this current team, I like what he's doing right now, right? He doesn't need to score a bunch of points or whatever the case may be, right? But for me, in order for him to take that next level and take that next step, he does need to, like you said, finish better around the basket. He does need to become a 20-point scorer in order to take that next step up into that next echelon of where Knicks fans want him to be. As far as the Kobe comparisons, the people who are RJ Barrett sympathizers for the most part, and you know, I hate saying that because I'm a fan of the Knicks. I like everyone that's playing on the Knicks right now. But people who really, you know, go the hardest for RJ Barrett, one of the stats that they bring up is the under 21 stat. RJ Barrett is one out of 7 players, including Kobe Bryant, including LeBron James, to average this, and this, and Luka and all of them, right? So it's the RJ sympathizers that bring up that stat. That's not me. I don't bring that up. And then when you bring up that stat, right, that's a comparison because you're putting them on that list of those guys who average those numbers and their trajectory. So that is a comparison. So that's not me. Okay, that's the second thing. The third thing is, listen, like, I like RJ Barrett's game. I think it's going in the right direction. But for me, I have not seen yet that type of, you know, play style that says that he's going to be this type of dude where, like, he's going to be, like, this type of player that everyone wants to keep around. Like, that's just not the way I see RJ Barrett. Personally, that's just my opinion. And I'm not the only one. Other people that feel that way are probably not Knicks fans or whatever the case may be. That's perfectly fine, but I'm not the only one who feels that way. You can ask a whole bunch of people. They're not just hating on RJ Barrett just because. There's limitations there. There's obvious limitations. You guys mentioned it a lot. You know what I'm saying? So, listen, I came down hard on RJ Barrett last season because he underperformed in some games. In the beginning of the season, he was underperforming.
Julio, let me ask you this. Is it misleading if it's a fact?
Is it what?
Yes.
Are can be used in a misleading way? Absolutely. Facts can definitely be used in a misleading way.
The thing is that this like it's like when everyone was going crazy over RJ, like, oh, he's not doing good, but he was averaging 18, 6, and 3 at 20. It's not saying that he's as good as these players, but it's just showing that under 21, a lot of players haven't done this, and you're just not appreciating what he has done. And you're just nitpicking the small things.
Okay, but let me that argument about being under 21.
Not even appreciating.
Hold on, time out. Let me finish. That argument about being under 21, right? That whole thing. How many players in the history of the NBA have played under 21? There's only been a select handful of players. 44 of them came out of high school. So it's not that many. If you want to talk about that sample size, saying this not amount of players didn't do this under age of 21, most of the NBA players, over 90% of them played or got drafted after they even turned 21. So it's already a small sample size. So that's why facts can be misleading, because when you throw something like that out,
you can come out of school at 19, bro.
I get that.
College,
I get that. That's not what I'm contesting. I'm not contesting that. My thing is the stat about being under 21.
RJ Barrett played in college, bro. RJ Barrett played in college. Remember, he played at Duke.
I get that. I don't understand what you're getting at.
You said only 44 players played in the NBA straight out of high school.
Right. Hold on. This is what I'm saying. 44 players out of that list of under 21 players that got drafted into the NBA. 44 of them came out of high school, right? That is overwhelming majority, well, not overwhelming, that's probably like half, I would say, of the rest of the players that came into the league that were under 21 years old. Half, right? So that's the reason why I brought that in there. So you're looking at a group of under 100 players. So if you're going to say RJ Barrett is one out of this, whatever, yeah, he's pretty good if you look at those players that, are in that list of under 21 players. Absolutely, he's up there. But again, that's a misleading kind of fact when you throw those type of names on there like Kobe and Luka. RJ Barrett's not generational. He's not that type of.
You don't know that, but you don't know that yet, though, bro.
I know that about Luka Doncic right now. I knew that about LeBron James when he first was in the league. About Kobe, all of that.
You didn't know that about Kobe
as generational. But you last year, like you clowned me when I made a video on RJ Barrett changing or fixing his shooting form. Like you're like you were actively rooting against his possible development, like clowning, like he's gonna be a good shooter. Then he becomes a 40% shooter, and then you're trying to take it back like, oh, I always like RJ Barrett. It's like, no, it's one thing to not like a player, but like you're sitting there and you're like active. I don't say you're rooting against him, but you're almost like, yeah, I told you. It's like I told you so versus like, damn, he sucks.
Are you hurt? I'm sorry. I hurt your feelings. I'm sorry about that, man. I'm sorry.
You didn't hurt my You didn't hurt my feelings.
I don't know what
your feelings. This guy was on. You're on with Hadouken asking people playing victim when you literally were basically. I don't say rooting against him. But you were every time he did bad, you were relishing coming on and talking about trade RJ Barrett. I
wasn't, man.
And I told you were. And I was talking with Hadouken, when we talk about Jaylen Brown, didn't I say I would if Jaylen Brown was available? Yeah, I'd make that trade.
Yeah.
You wouldn't.
Yes.
But so I'm not against no one is untradeable. Like
that's all I was saying. Though.
Yeah, but that's not. Come on, dogs. You played the villain role last year with RJ Barrett, where it's like, yo, bro, every time he does bad, you're looking at him like he's the sole reason. Not sole reason. He's RJ Barrett got to do this. Man, he's doing good. Well, he got to show me more. It's like, yeah, we get that he has to be consistent, but like, dogs, there's no context. What's your thing with RJ Barrett? Like you were against the dude, that's fine, but come on, you switching it up now, man. That's a lot of fans who don't
I've kept it the same. I've been consistent. I don't know why I have to keep reiterating. I have to keep reiterating this point.
No, you haven't,
bro. Uncle Fulio, you going from can't touch this to pumps in the bump. That's what you doing. You can't touch this. Hammer. You put me in the mix, and now you're a thug now.
Listen, I don't know if I gotta say it in Spanish or whatever language you want me to hear. RJ Barrett is not untradeable to me. RJ Barrett is a good role player for this team. I've said that over the past 3 years. I've said that. I have not wavered on that.
This dude is bro. This not. Oh my Lord Jesus.
I'm just so Uncle Fulio, allow me to entertain this wild journey that you're on with the RJ slander, right? I just want to make because when I hear it, it sounds ridiculous to me. You sound like the person that says I just don't like him because, right? And you know what I'm saying? Like, why you don't like him, bro? Because of what? I mean, I just don't like him. That's what it sounds like.
I didn't give you valid reasoning.
No, so you giving me reasoning? Is it valid? I didn't give you.
But he said that Guillermo said there was no context.
So let me.
I never provided the context.
Here is something that can clear up the contextual argument, right? Okay. So if RJ is a role player, who do you put in RJ Barrett's role right now? If RJ needs it, if RJ
needs Kevin Knox last year,
we don't have anybody right now.
Right. Okay. Okay.
Oh.
So now you want to replace RJ with nobody.
I don't want to. No, see, that's the thing. I don't want to actively trade RJ Barrett and get rid of him.
I didn't say trade. You said role. I'm assuming that you want to change his role based on the players that we already have.
No.
So you want to give Alec Burks a bigger role?
No.
Or Evan Fournier or Kevin Knox?
Absolutely not. That's not what I'm saying at all, Freezy. It's not based on the players that we have right now. We know RJ Barrett, for his role, is the best at that position on the Knicks. We know that. That's a fact. I'm not disputing that. But
right.
What I'm saying, the conversation was about whether if this is how it all started, right?
So who do you go get? So who to move
Westbrook.
RJ Barrett?
That was the guy you wanted, Westbrook. That's who he wants.
So to finish to finish what I was saying, if there's a superstar, disgruntled player out there, disgruntled star, and he was up, to be traded or whatever, and the Knicks had an opportunity to go get that said player to get us to the finals, yes, I would possibly shop RJ Barrett for that player. No doubt.
Wait, who's
no
that
doubt in my
star?
mind.
Ben Simmons? Who's that star?
But you said if.
Can I ask something real quick?
What's
To
up?
win a championship in this league, you need a top 7 player or top 5, right? Top 5. Trading RJ Barrett is not going to get you a top 5 player, and that's not going to put you in a transfer to win a championship. You could
Why
go trade
not?
RJ.
You have to trade the kitchen sink to get a top 5 player because RJ Barrett isn't that.
Hold up. You say you trade RJ Barrett for Bradley Beal. Bradley Beal and Julius Randle is going to win the East?
No.
I think they're in contention to do so. They're way better than what they are right now. Better than what they are right now.
Bradley Beal at 30 points a game with the guy you wanted in Westbrook had to go through the play-in.
Time out. First and foremost, you gotta have at least 2 guys to be in contention. There's no guarantee you make any trade or do anything that's gonna win you a championship. Let me just get that out the way. I'm talking about contention. To be in the conversation. You go out and you go get another guy to pair with Julius Randle that you can give the ball to, that can score, that can go get you a bucket when the game slows down. The Knicks will be in contention. Right now, they're not there yet because outside of Randle, they're still not that guy. We're still trying to figure out if Fournier is that
So
dude.
who are you trading? Because last year you wanted to trade for Westbrook. So who's the guy you want now?
So we don't need a guy.
Right now, there's nobody that's actively available.
Oh,
Right now, there's no one that's.
So right now, the argument doesn't hold water, but we still want to have it in place just in case it will hold water.
Whoa! What do you mean the argument doesn't hold any water? I was saying this
because
last
you
season.
said no. We're talking about today. Because
Let's talk about today.
You can't change RJ Barrett's role from last year because that time has passed. We're talking about right now.
Mm-hmm.
So you're saying if a guy becomes available and you don't know who that guy is, nor how much it'll cost. Right? Mm-hmm. And then you don't know what the chemistry on this team will be like if that personality comes here and is different from the personalities that you already have.
Hold on, time out. Most of the Knicks' success last season was because of chemistry. Most of it was because of chemistry. What did we do? We got rid of Reggie Bullock and Alfred Payton, and we got better. So the chemistry, argument goes out the window. But again, that's fine. But chemistry doesn't have to be with a trade. Chemistry doesn't have to be with a trade.
And here's the thing, we didn't trade for them either. Those guys, last year's chemistry comes from those guys playing in there. Last year was the second year that those 2 guys played together.
So it takes time to build chemistry.
Yes.
That's going to happen regardless, no matter who you bring on the team. Star or no star.
Not if you get the wrong personality types.
But you can get the right one too. You can get the right one too.
If you bring Bradley Beal here, you like, Bradley, listen, we're going to bring you in. And we don't want you to take as many shots because we want Julius to eat also. You think Bradley Beal is going to accept that role? And we don't want you taking 24 shots a game. We want you taking 17 shots a game. You may average 20. So now Bradley Beal goes from a 31 point per game scorer to a 20, 21, 22 point per game scorer. You think Bradley Beal is going to fit in that role?
That's a very nuanced thing. Bradley Beal can come on this team and be the alpha and be the alpha over Julius Randle. We don't know any of those.
So now RJ Barrett is not Barrett is not the problem.
Hold on.
Julius Randle is the problem.
Bradley Beal has never been an alpha throughout his career. So what's going to make you think that he's going to come here and be an alpha?
Why can't he be an alpha? He's not an alpha on Washington right now.
He became that after John Wall got injured. That's the
only. So he is that. So he is that.
Hold on.
No, I'm saying like he. There's no one he has to alpha.
After the reports about John Wall got injured, a bunch of teammates had a problem with Bradley Beal because they're saying he was ball hogging.
Right.
So how is that an alpha, bro?
Okay, first of all, time out. So this conversation is going everywhere, okay? Because first of all, I made a general statement, okay? I'm not actively saying, I'm not trying to get specific with what trade I would do. I did that in the offseason when it came to Damian Lillard. I did that. I got very, very specific, and I kept RJ Barrett out the trade, right? So I got very, very specific. Right now, there is no one player that I'm actively seeking or whatever the case may be, because I'm not actively shopping anybody. This team is still a work in progress. So let me just put that out there. It's a general statement that I made, and everyone got upset. Oh, you want to actively go out, Kev? You want to trade the whole team and this, that? No, I don't. Not right now. But I tell you, it's gonna get to a point.
So you changed up now, so you don't want to trade for.
See, you're trying to make it seem like I changed up. I didn't change up. That's always
Yeah,
my
but
argument.
All last year, this guy was talking about trading for Bill, trading for Westbrook. Then he was talking about how Ben Simmons is this and that, and Ben Simmons was here. And it's the funniest thing is that
you wanted to trade Julius Randle, though. You wanted to
yes, when he had a bad year. Yeah, hold on. Let me explain for this guy. Julius Randle 2019. Before
RJ was not doing terrible.
He was terrible that year. 19-10. Yes, the production on the surface level was good. He couldn't pass out of double teams.
Who was you gonna bring back?
He was a low-level player, regardless of the points he was.
Who were you gonna trade for him?
I was thinking about rebuilding the whole team. And by the way, you said I want to trade. You're the same guy who clowned me because I said we should build around RJ and Mitch.
I remember that because I was saying the same exact thing. Yeah, you and a lot of people.
The only time I even joked about trading for Randall was GI came on a Friday night and I was drinking. And I said, yo, don't take this down. I said, yo, everybody's doing bad. I traded everybody. He's like, even RJ, I was like, yo, bro, I have to consider it.
Okay, so you did say it. You did say it. So you did say it. So it's fine.
Joking, bro.
Yo, Josh, you can't say anything when you literally like you say that you don't know why people think you hate RJ, but like why would legit every single person in the world like think that listens?
Because they're emotional.
No,
emotional creatures. I get it. Listen, I understand.
No one's emotional. You had a whole episode with a I'm sorry for 2004 asking people, please don't. You were against RJ Barrett. You were clowning his game last season. Were you not?
Listen,
every time RJ had a bad game, regardless of context behind the game, RJ Barrett got to do this. RJ Barrett got to do that.
It can be anybody. It can be anybody. It can be Randall. I'm going to clown the game. If you play like trash, I'm going to say you play like trash. I'm not going to buy you a box of cookies. I don't care how old you are, 21, 31, 41. I'm going to come after you. If I expect you to play better, play better. And hold on, everyone's talking about the way I feel about RJ Barrett. What about how he feels about himself? About himself.
What?
Huh?
The standard that RJ Barrett holds himself to. People talk about me. I have a high standard for RJ Barrett. What about the standard he holds himself to?
I mean, you would hope so.
That's
every player.
That's him.
But that's my point. I'm not saying anything that's crazy, that's out of this world. He feels the same way about himself.
No,
that's what I'm trying to say.
RJ Barrett does no.
RJ Barrett doesn't sit. RJ Barrett after.
This comment.
RJ Barrett. Let me ask you for RJ Barrett, but. You literally last season found everything to throw at RJ Barrett if he had a bad or so-so game. When he started doing good, you were like, yo, but he has to do this, he has to do that. That's what I'm telling you. It's like, bro, I want to say because it's me. You made fun of a video where RJ Barrett was working on his jump shot. Mind you, the context behind RJ Barrett shooting, the first year he was here, Keith Smart and Fizzle worked hard to sabotage.
Trash.
Drew Hanlon didn't even want to say it on the SNY.
Josh, I see. I was riding with.
So RJ Barrett's a fight with two coaches on the shooting. If that coach, there's no. That's not you. You clowned the video that was trying to break that down. Like, yo, he might be working on it because you didn't like you don't like RJ Barrett. But
is that why I did it?
On the side of not liking RJ Barrett makes you look bad. It makes you look like a hater, especially now after he's doing good. So now
is that why you think I did it? Is that why you think I did it?
Yeah,
yes.
And Josh,
right. If I tell you that's not true, you're not gonna believe me.
It doesn't because there are facts behind it. You have a precedent, so it doesn't matter. The proof is in the pudding. You did it last year. It wasn't like, yo, RJ Barrett's doing bad. Even me, Hadouken, you know me, bro. I like RJ Barrett. When RJ Barrett was doing bad, what I was saying, yo, bro, he has to do better at the basket. He has to finish better, man. This hurts to watch this crap, bro.
Yeah, no, I was literally saying the same thing. No, Josh.
Like, yo, RJ Barrett's not gonna be RJ.
Yo, Josh, you can't do this because when you would be talking after a game, he like maybe does something off. You go into like deep into it.
Hold on, but let me tell you. Let me defend myself. Everyone's coming at me.
I just want to ask this thing.
Wait. We're gonna have like 2 more minutes with this, and then we're gonna switch the topic.
Yeah, and so you said something that was ridiculous. You said, what about how RJ Barrett feels about himself? Bro, I'm certain that RJ Barrett is not telling himself, based on what you said, that he wants to be a role player. I'm certain that RJ Barrett is not saying, trade me for another superstar so the Knicks can win. I'm certain RJ Barrett is not saying that, bro.
This is good.
You have to break down all these things that you say. No,
I never said he was saying that.
You said, what about how RJ Barrett feels about himself?
Right, and that's the reason why I said that.
Based on what you said that led up to that. And
But
so
hold on.
I'm not trying to jump Uncle Fulio, man, because I love Uncle Fulio, right?
But hold on, I'm
The
gonna tell you why I
only
said
thing
that,
about
though.
the only thing about Uncle Fulio is when you meet him live in person, he do try to big time you like he Ric Flair, bro. Like this dude is a star. He walk around with his chest out and stuff. You know what I'm saying? I'm Uncle Fulio. You know what I'm saying? But anyway,
I'm gonna tell you why I said what I said. I'm gonna tell you why I said what I said, right?
But can you answer what I just answer? What I'm saying? Does
RJ Barrett go tell himself that? I'm sure he doesn't. I'm sure he doesn't.
Right. So you can't say, well, what about how RJ Barrett feels about himself?
All right, but I'm gonna tell you why I say that, right? And you know, real calm. I'm gonna tell you why I say that, because no matter what you say about RJ Barrett, you can say anything. And maybe it's just me. Maybe fans don't want me to say anything because they think I'm being whatever it may be. You say RJ Barrett's an all-star. Oh, Josh, you put too much pressure on the kid. Okay, he's not gonna be an all-star. What? You saying RJ Barrett's not gonna be an all-star? Okay, all right. So, you know, maybe he's just a really, really good role player for this team. Nah, man, nah. It's like you can't say anything, like no matter what side of the aisle you fall on about RJ Barrett. If you say that he has a bad game, it's like, oh, you're going too hard on him. It's only this, it's only that. Like you can't be honest and you can't be objective when it comes to RJ Barrett. That's just personally how I feel about that. All right. And it's like, you ever watch Malcolm X? You remember that movie, Freezy?
Yeah.
Remember the part when Denzel was coming down the steps and he was surrounded by all the people, and the dude came up to him and he was like, "Are you Elijah Muhammad's pimp?" And then I don't know what you heard. He should be killed. That's how it is when it comes to RJ Barrett. You can't literally say anything about this guy without someone feeling a certain type of way. If I say he's an all-star, no, he's not ready for that yet. You're being too hard on him.
That's not
That's
true.
I mean, no, Josh.
No,
I know you're saying that's how you feel.
Time out. I'm not trying to play. Hold on, time out. I'm not trying to play victim. I'm telling you exactly how I feel. You don't like it. You don't like it. I'm telling you how I feel.
You liking it. There's no integrity in this speed, bro. Last season, you literally let a brigade. Look, bro. I ask Hadouken. I did not say, yo. I don't even care if RJ Barrett makes an all-star game, right? This dude,
Yo, this is true. He doesn't care about the accolade.
You literally led a brigade to say of RJ Barrett ain't that. Y'all stupid for liking him. Now you're trying to make it like, oh no, but if I say this,
I never said that. No, stop. If you put in words in my mouth, I never said that.
Wait.
I never said that. I never said it. He's putting words in my mouth. I've never said that.
Wait, let him finish.
If this guy led on with RJ Barrett, if you say, RJ Barrett's probably not gonna be that good, whatever. I don't think he's that type of player. But I think, you know what, look, he could be a role player at school, whatever. People are like, all right, cool, that's fine. You were on MBK almost every night. If RJ Barrett had a bad game, to lead the brigade to say, yo, RJ Barrett ain't this. RJ Barrett should be this. And the game couldn't even, when RJ Barrett was shooting poorly, right? It was Tom Thibodeau who was forcing him to shoot shots. And you will come on, RJ Barrett. It was like, bro, he came from college.
Oh my God, that's not true. Oh my goodness.
Am I making this? Why is it that?
You aren't making this up. That's fine.
No.
Why is it that everybody else knows you as the RJ hater? Why? It's not just me.
Because they want me to bow to RJ Barrett's feet and
No,
buy him candies and buy him cookies. I'm not gonna do it. Straight up. That's just who I am.
Okay. Josh, say what you want, because this is the last thing. Wait. Stop.
Okay.
This is the last thing with RJ.
First and foremost, you're not saying anything that I haven't heard a million times already. All right. So you're not special. All right. This ain't. Everything you're saying right now. Hold on. Let me finish. Not finish. What I'm saying is,
no one's getting emotional. Just point out how you're playing two sides. There's not anything special. Everyone's saying the same thing. That's the whole point. That's the special thing about it. Everybody's saying the same thing.
So am I playing two sides or am I the hater?
Twilight Zone.
Am I playing two sides or am I the hater? Which one?
All right, wait, Guillermo, let him say his piece, and then we're done with the
You can't play two sides and be a hater at the same time, right? All
right, Josh.
But like I was saying last year, when it comes to RJ Barrett shooting more shots, I never said RJ Barrett should shoot less. I've never said that. Never. I never said RJ Barrett should. Find it and show me.
You wanted to send him to the bench.
Hold on, I never
said G League one time, right?
No, he wasn't the one G League.
Okay.
No, he's not the G League. He didn't say G League.
He said bench.
He said RJ Barrett to the bench for Kevin Knox.
But guess what? You can still produce off the bench and shoot the same amount of shots. You can still play the same amount of minutes.
That's not why. That's not how.
That's exactly why. I never said.
Go ahead. I apologize.
Okay,
that's not why you want to do it.
That's not.
No, he wanted Kevin Knox to play over RJ Barrett in the lineup.
Time out. First and foremost, you can come off the bench and have more minutes than some of the starters.
Okay, but you still wanted him off the bench.
And I remember RJ Barrett.
But there's nothing wrong with that though.
RJ Barrett had more.
You're not gonna let me finish. You're not gonna let me finish. Can I finish, man? What I'm saying is there's nothing wrong with coming off the bench and being productive. Terrence Ross did it yesterday to us and killed us. There's nothing wrong with that. If that's RK Barrett's trajectory, I'm perfectly fine with that. I have no problem with that. That's why I bought up someone like
to be Terrence Ross.
Oh my God, that's not what I'm saying. But all right. I can't say anything. I'm
There's even
outnumbered
a
here.
logic behind that.
But
RJ
listen,
Barrett going to the bench when he's not a natural scorer like Terrence Ross. And then last season when you brought it up, at the time it was in the middle of like RJ Barrett.
I brought up RJ Barrett coming off the bench because
Hold on,
the
let me
bench.
finish. I'll let you finish. Let me finish.
I didn't finish. Everyone's cutting me off. Everyone's cutting me off. I wanted RJ Barrett.
For you to get to a point. There's no point. But go ahead, man. Go ahead, bro.
Hey, dude, we're gonna talk about something else.
Yeah, let's go something else.
Yeah. All right. So
play victim now,
next
man.
thing, kind of like what Stephen Knox pointed. Stephen Knox. You just said
Stephen
Knox. I had to
Fox.
think of. I thought of Knox.
Jump shot is sweet.
Stephen Knox. Why I keep saying that?
His jump
Stephen
shot
Fox
is
said,
money.
I kind of want to talk about IQ a little. To continue with because IQ has not really been getting a lot of burn. He got a decent amount the second Magic game, but that was after we blew them out. But he's not really getting those minutes he had usually in the first quarter where he comes in like 3-4 minutes left and he barely really plays in the total game. Like last game he played 12 minutes. The first game he played 8 minutes. Last game he played like 16. And I'm pretty sure last year overall he played like 18, 19 minutes per game. Are you worried about him? Because the way I see it, he's really not taking smart shots. He hasn't been taking the best shots. And I think Tibbs is kind of disciplining him kind of in a way he did RJ with not playing him sometimes in the end of the game. And I think he's doing that with IQ right now, but with his overall minutes. So how do you guys feel about that? And what's good, Ethan?
Yeah, sorry, my bad, bro. I'm so bad at planning out my time. I had to like run a bunch of errands after school.
You good, bro? No.
Yeah, I know. I remember I texted you saying I was going to be on a 4:15. Yeah, I'm so sorry, bro.
It's fine. I didn't even go live at 4:15, so it's fine.
Thanks. All right, I'll see.
All right, and before anyone goes, if you haven't yet, make sure to smash that like button, subscribe if you're new, turn that notification bell on, all that good stuff. If anyone wants to go first, you got it. About IQ. Yeah.
So I just think IQ right now, I think that, he's still trying to find his way right now with this team. I get it. It's pretty early. Last season, he was lightning in the bottle. He was able to come off the bench literally and just be that scorer. Like he can just go for 20, 25 any second. But right now he's just missing. He's just not knocking down his shots. Now, I think it's going to come because I think he's gifted of a scorer and a shooter, combo guard. But as of right now, it's just not falling. I think he'll be able to find his way though. I'm not tripping about it.
I know Freezy, you were a big fan of IQ also. So I mean, do you see? Because I know last year you were really glamoring from him. I feel like most of the fans were, but now I feel like a lot more fans are down on IQ. Like you're seeing a little bit more fake love on IQ this year. What do you think has changed about IQ, and how do you think he's gonna get out of this shell of getting less minutes and getting pulled out a lot earlier?
I think his role is changed, and what's being required of him in that role is a bit much for him. So he's getting on the job training, so to speak, right now. He's asking to be more of a facilitator, playmaker, as opposed to, coming off the bench with the greenest of green lights we've ever seen Tom Thibodeau give a rookie, right? I don't agree with the his shot is not going because the percentages, the math says that he's shooting at a higher clip than he did last year. But if you go by the shots that he's taking, his misses look terrible, right? Do you remember the 28-footer he pulled up in Orlando, the one that hit no rim and hit the side backboard? Sound like somebody was knocking on your door.
Especially, I remember this one play where he got a good steal and then he just ran up and instead of passing it for a layup, he just chucked the shot from the right wing and it missed.
Right. Yeah. So I think it's not a case of. Well, let me say this. So it may seem like Quickly is regressing. I think he's learning, right? But just like all roses, they don't start out in full bloom. You know what I'm saying? They start out as a seed, and then they have to go through this rough spot of breaking through that outer shell and then growing and growing and growing until something eventually there'll be something beautiful. I think that's where IQ is right now. So the learning phase, like give you an example. I watched the Friday Orlando game. He missed Obi Topper on a lob twice. Right? Obi was on deep in the
On the
corner for
fast
three.
break.
No, not that one. Not that one. Obi was deep in the corner for three, and Obi stood there, right? The defender turned his head, Obi cut back door and was ready for the lob, even jumped and everything, and IQ threw up a floater. Right? That could have been a lob to Obi. You know what I'm saying? The shot didn't go in, Obi was right there. What you want is an athlete like Obi to get a running start and get on the launch pad and use his athleticism, which is a mismatch for 90% of the people that play his position. And IQ didn't take advantage of that. The second time he cut to the basket, Obi Toppin was wide open in the corner for three. The guy with his defender was on the box. Obi was in the corner. IQ dribble penetrated, didn't have anything, backed it back out to the opposite wing. And Obi was wide open the whole time. Right. So I think it's one of those deals where the dude has to increase his court vision. And since Emmanuel Quickly is so risk averse, a lot of those times I think he does see it, but IQ does not want to turn the ball over. IQ is not a turnover machine. Like, you won't see him turn the ball over much. So I think he has to balance his risk reward in playmaking, like he balances his risk reward in shot making. Because Quickly will pull up from 26 feet in a heartbeat if he's open, no doubt. You know what I'm saying? But do you take the risk of throwing that pass to Obi to get Obi in the game, and he won't do that? So is Tibbs punishing him? I'm not saying that. I'm saying
I feel
now
like he is.
I think what happens is he is forcing Quickly to do more in less minutes, like he did Obi last year. Obi played 11 minutes a game and averaged 4 points and 2 rebounds. And people wanted Obi to get more minutes. And Tibbs was like, nah, bro. If you want more minutes, produce in the amount of minutes we give you. You know what I'm saying? Instead of just running up and down the floor, you're like, well, what did Obi do tonight? Well, he ran up and down the floor 60 times. That don't mean nothing because you didn't do anything. Right? I think that's what he's so if it's a punishment, if that's the punishment, then I agree. But I don't think Quickly is regressing. I think he's learning a new role, and it's just going to take some time. Like, you know, if we're still in this place after 25 or 30 games, then I'll agree with you.
Oh.
So it's fair to say every young player on the Knicks right now is learning, right?
No,
I mean,
I'm not going. It's the reason why I don't want to go into it, because every player, whether young or old, should be learning. But if you're talking about learning in that context that I mentioned about doing more in that, yeah, I wouldn't necessarily say it that way. I would say on a young team, development is key, right? You want these guys to be able to develop. You want to grow your own food so you don't have to go to the grocery store, bro.
Yeah, no matter what, everyone is growing. Like, even if you're older, you're always growing your game,
right?
Whatever.
Right. You have to.
Like, it doesn't really matter like what age you are for growing your game. But I just think IQ is just in that slump where he's getting rebuilt, and he's getting taught a thought that, like, last year he's not gonna have that green light as he did last year. He's gonna be pulled a lot sooner than he was. We just really didn't have D Rose for that first half of the season, and that's mainly where he was really like having that crazy green light. And now with D Rose there and him there, I don't think he's really going to be allowed to chuck up those shots anymore.
Well, he actually played better.
Like
you said, I think he played better when Derrick Rose was there. Derrick Rose was, you know, giving him the ball in the spots or whatever the case may be, and he was able to knock down those shots. I still feel like sometime this season, IQ is going to go through a stretch where he's just going to be hot. I'm talking super hot off the bench, like 5-5 from 3, like something crazy out of this world. And then, like, I think a lot of Knicks fans are kind of going to, like, you know, turn and like kind of wake up and smell the coffee a little bit, because he was doing that last season, and that's you know what I expect from Emmanuel Quickly, but it's going to take some time. Everyone's kind of, you know, trying to.
I was happy about the first Orlando game just because, like, after the Celtics game, I saw that Burks and IQ had bad games, so I was hoping that first Magic game was the one they actually did like well in. And IQ had 16, and like Burks had like 13. IQ, granted, did make most of his shots like after we were up like 20 or 30, but he was still getting the groove of things. So I'm hoping that coming into Philly in this next game, this next stretch of games, because these next stretch of games are actually going to be tougher than the Magic were. And I'm hoping that us losing to them the second time, off the second game we played them, is going to give us a lot more fight, because these games are about to be a little tough. We got Philly, Bulls, and the Bulls. I mean, they haven't really played anyone that's good yet, because I mean, they played both teams, two teams that haven't even gotten a win yet for the season. But yeah, we're really gonna have to see who's gonna do good. Next, wait, Guillermo, you want to talk about IQ or Ethan?
Yeah,
If
but
any of you guys have anything about IQ?
I think he's gonna look. He's probably best as an off-ball player. He hasn't shown that he can dribble effectively by himself with his left or his right. I guess the start of the season, right? I mean, obviously he still uses the screens and whatnot. That's something that he's had since last season. I think he's gonna find his groove. For some reason, he just can't hit from outside. Only thing is just look, I don't like those stupid shots he takes. He took a few of them in the Celtics game. I remember maybe like one or two. He just comes down the court and shoots a deep three, and it's out of sync with the offense. Like if he was white hot, like say the Blazers game, that's all right. Take your shot until you can't miss. But I think he's still learning. I still think he's trying to not be, and it might be hurting him, right? He just may not be that type of player who's a facilitator. But you've seen him so far kind of be hesitant to be uber aggressive. He's taking some floaters off of some screens. Like he took a nice one of the first Magic game from the foul line. But yeah, it's just the thing he's gonna have to find his groove. Yeah, and he just might just be a combo guard at best. He may not be a so-called combo guard and kind of facilitate playmate like I thought we were seeing in the summer league. But
he was making nice passes all through the summer league. Like he was having games where he had 8 assists and 0 turnovers. And you saw it like continue. Like he was making good like full court passes as well, but I don't know. He's been a little off.
Yeah, it's just like shot selection for him mostly. His shot selection has been bad. He's missing his open shots, what I'm fine with. He's kind of doing the RJ, but a bit worse, which is he's picking up his dribble way too early on a pick and roll.
Right.
Like he's picking up his dribble on the top circle of a pick and roll. Like, come on now. It's like
and it's because they force him a certain way. They take away a certain thing, and he can't change direction.
He can't change direction, and he's kind of uncomfortable with his left hand off the pick and roll.
Yeah,
right.
He's really uncomfortable dribbling with his left hand off the pick and roll, so he picks the dribble a lot early. But it goes back to last season where he didn't get deep enough into the paint, which is something I asked for him, something I want him to improve on coming to this season. But I'm fine with him. I think he's gonna have a bit of a OB year last year, which is like he's gonna be learning a lot.
Yeah,
he's gonna be learning a lot.
That's actually the next person I wanted to go towards, because I mean Obi didn't have a good game at all last game, but I mean the first game he got his career high. Second game he got 13. Missed a few free throws. He could have gotten it again, but I haven't seen anything crazy with like his post ups or anything like that. But his shot is looking it's looking a little bit more cleaner. He's looking more confident, and like Alec Burks has been finding him more than he has last year. He's actually looking up. D Rose is always going to help him out with that, and he's looking comfortable with his layups and just like his transition plays. How do you feel about him this season, and do you think he's going to keep this up?
He still can't create his own offense by himself. Right? He's a pace guy. He works best with Derrick Rose, which is great. But he just can't create. Like you saw him do the little post up. What was the Magic game? Try to post up and it.
Magic.
Yeah, no, it was a Celtics against Schroeder.
Oh, it was Schroeder. My bad.
And there was 2 plays in the Magic where he keeps going baseline every time, and it's so predictable.
Right, but I mean that works. If we had guys who actually penetrate into the paint, and you have to have the defense kind of collapse.
I'm talking about on his post ups when he always shrugs, he always shrugs baseline, and Bamba was timing it perfectly. He was just getting lucky. He was just getting lucked out by foul calls. And let me say this too, right? If we don't have like that great level of a guard who can set up his shooters perfectly, and he's been getting hit most of the time by Burks, but when you have, I could easily see when you're playing with a great guard, he's going to be hitting Obi more deep in the corner. Because when Obi's like more close to that wing for his corner threes, he often shoots a bit to the left. So he needs to be more deeper because it actually fits his shot a lot better and it fits his arc. So yeah, I'm fine with Obi right now. He improved, but he still can't create.
Yeah. offhand dribbling is a problem for him.
Yeah, he really can't create into his shot at all. Like I would like to see like what he kind of demonstrated a few times with him, like faking the three and then dribbling up into a pull up two, which I've seen him do a few times and it looked good in the preseason, just like a few times last season. But I think he's mainly just gonna continue to get his buckets off of fast breaks, wide open threes, free throws, because he's getting into the free throw line a few times now too.
Right.
Like he's not looking scared to actually get contact, which is good to see from him at least, because right now, like so far, like he's looking a little like, I'm not gonna say he's looking like that 8th pick, but he's looking a little more like it.
He's looking like someone that's
Same
league
time.
ready, like league ready when they drafted him. Like he was supposed to be this type of player.
Yeah,
coming
he's
out of the
looking
draft.
like a top 40 pick, right?
Yeah, he's looking like he's getting up there, but he still can't create it.
Because he don't look like a lottery pick yet. He don't look like, man. Have y'all seen Scotty Barnes?
Monster.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
He was
Monster.
never that. Obi Toppin was never that. Like I think that, you know, it was one because the whole the P word, the C word, you know.
Yeah.
You know, that kind of messed up the season, and I felt like, you know, people had to go in high school. He played 3 years, right?
Yeah, 3 years.
But people saw him because he's at Dayton. He's kind of like a do-it-all point forward. And I felt like, you know, I felt like some of the scouting reports are a little bit lazy.
And
on Obi
yeah, people
because-
often. Oh, sorry to cut you off, Jamal, but like people often
No, you're
forgot that he came to a straight up half court offense with no motion and no transition. And in Dayton, he played with the number 1 ranked motion team in the country and the most passing team in the country.
They used him like we use Randall. Like
No.
kind of, so not like in an exact way, but where he was like the focal point of the offense.
I mean,
That's what he was used to.
like he was more of the focal point.
Was good ultimately.
He was the focal point and the secondary option at the same time, which the ball would mostly go to him. They get him a lot of oops, they get him a lot of cuts, backdoor, and it was like with that much passing and you have that much guards who could set you up, it's pretty easy. And their guards would do a lot of half court presses, so it would get them out in transition a lot.
Yeah.
Afro Jetty said, like, who wants to go to Dayton? But that's the whole point. If you say somebody's the most NBA ready player in the league, you're talking about a guy who may not have the highest of ceilings, but he's gonna come in and produce like a Duarte.
Like he has a floor. He has a good floor, but a low ceiling.
Right, but it's the opposite.
Not necessarily a low ceiling. Yeah.
He has a. You could say he has a high floor, but really Obi's. You could say he has a high ceiling. Excuse me, but Obi's floor, like, bro, he can't post up. He has no lower body strength. His 3-point shooting hopefully is coming on, and obviously his best, his best strength. One of his best strengths from college, even though the numbers didn't say, was really his passing, and we can't really exploit it. Like he's just basically used off the ball. We don't use him at the foul line. We had a whole play, or yesterday they played zone against us 2 games in a row. Granted, one game we blew them out, but it's like we didn't even test out Obi playing at that foul line, being a zone breaker. So I really don't know what the hell we have in Obi. You know, if we have, again, as long as Derrick Rose is there, Obi has a spot on the floor. But God forbid, knock on wood, say Kemba gets hurt. If you move Derrick Rose, Obi's impact probably drops dramatically. What guard's going to run out of space with him? Who could get it out to him off the dribble drive kickouts? Like
It's not quickly, that's for sure.
Quickly's just a look. When I say right now he's a combo guard. Like the only guy I'm hoping is not gonna have is Miles McBride. But even Miles McBride is not a Derrick Rose type. So Obi Toppin, man, I know he's worked with Drew Hanley. He has that one post-up move, but it doesn't. Everybody knows what it is. It's the 2 dribble spin to the baseline, and he got stopped the past few games. So I don't. Obi is really tough to develop, bro. I don't know what the hell is his actual value on this team.
Right, and Dayton didn't just recruit Obi Toppin. Obi was leaning 80% to Alabama. It was supposed to be a Colin Sexton, Obi Toppin, Herb Jones group to go to Alabama, and Anthony Grant left and went to Dayton, and so Obi chose to go to Dayton with Anthony Grant. You know what I'm saying? So it's not just a Dayton just showed up from out of nowhere and swooped up Obi Toppin. That's not how it happened.
We have an athletic.
I don't know about Laurie Mark.
Laurie could.
That Cavs lineup is so weird. I watched it and it somehow like worked, but I don't know. It's so weird. Mobley's looking good though. I know we got Ethan is about to say something.
Yeah, I was just about to say, I've been seeing my son Mobley.
Yeah, Mobley has been looking good, and then Jalen Green dropped 30.
He's-
He was looking really good too.
He's gonna be a
Shot.
problem. He's a
I
problem.
think
Yeah.
I think my prediction is gonna come true in the next 5 years. So I'll be alright.
Yeah.
What's the prediction?
He thinks
Yeah.
Mobley is gonna be the best player out this draft.
Mobley is gonna be the best player in this draft, and Mobley should have been the number 1 overall pick.
Okay.
How soon before he takes over for Jared Allen?
I give that 2 years.
They're
I give
gonna
that
play
2 years.
together. They're going to play together because he could play.
Now
the
I
four.
say
He
they
can
do
play
this
the four.
whole year. I say they do this whole year, the whole year next year, and then they go small ball, and then they go small.
I mean, no,
ball.
Josh, he's already starting, but it's just like they're just playing together. So
Yeah,
it's like
They're
already
going-
have a
you
core.
still need because Mobley is not a 5. Like you had scouts saying that he was supposed to be. It sounds psychotic, but they even said he's going to be a 3. He's best as a 4. He still benefits from a Josh Allen to play down low, play the pick and roll. Probably play the pick and roll with him. Rebound, finish at the basket. I mean, would you like Mobley to do that? Fine, but he's better as a scoring force. So they're going to play together. I think they're going to be playing together for some years. They're going to be playing together for some years. So I don't think it's going to change. You don't want Mobley playing a 5. Like I don't think he has a. He's like a Uber Chris Bosh.
Yeah.
Or they might say Uber because I'm going to disrespect Chris Bosh, but he's like a Chris Bosh type who probably do better with a big rolling behind alongside him.
our next person up
let me
is-
say something to that real quick.
All right, go ahead.
But in playoff times, right, when Mobley ever reaches the playoffs or gets to the playoffs, he's gonna take a majority time at the 5 spot, just because you could switch 1 through 5 when Mobley's on the floor, and you probably
it's
have
gonna
a
take
better
a while to even like
Yeah,
get to that
Cleveland,
point.
Yeah, Cleveland ain't gonna play. We're in 12 years. When Cleveland it's Cleveland, bro. It's Cleveland. You think about outside.
They got like 2 of my favorite players on that team.
Yo, outside of LeBron James, bro, what has Cleveland done as a
Nothing.
franchise?
Nothing.
You know,
Brad Daugherty.
You can say the same thing about the Bulls, bro.
yeah, outside of Michael Jordan, right? You're right.
Oh,
No, I
yeah,
agree with you.
Bulls had a few.
Hey, Hadouken, I'm out of here,
What's
bro. I got to get ready for my next show or another show tonight, 8:30.
I bet.
Queens
Appreciate you
Court,
for
tune in on
being on.
MBK. Thank you.
Yeah, make sure
Much
to check
love,
that
everyone.
out. Make sure to
Spirited
check out the
debate.
controversy.
Did you say go Army yet?
Go Navy,
Did you say
beat Army.
Go Army.
100%.
Please, man, please.
Yeah.
Hey, real quick,
Come on.
Hadouken. I got a show
What's up?
this Wednesday, 6:30. I'm talking with my
I
guys
bet.
from the Knicks podcast. We're gonna be talking about some things. What the Knicks are gonna be after the first 4 games of the season. We're gonna continue this RJ debate. They definitely want to get a crack at me with that. So we're definitely gonna talk about that. So tune in, y'all. I appreciate
RJ
it.
hate.
All right, bet.
The RJ
Peace
hate
out.
debate. Later, y'all.
Yeah, we already know how that's gonna go. I think everyone's gonna know his stance on that. But yeah, next person I want to talk about is Mitch, and I'm just mad at Tibbs for playing him after he got his ankle like hurt like that. It actually really got me mad. I was confused because either like he got hurt bad from that, and then he just comes in to check in like a few minutes later. It literally made no sense to me. But he's actually been playing pretty well, in my opinion. You can see the impact of Mitch. He's getting a lot of boards still. He's continuing to get his dunks. He's beasting and feasting inside the paint. How do you guys feel about Mitch? And are you worried about his injury? Do you think he's going to re-aggravate it? What's good, Cully?
Yo.
Anyone want to go with Mitch or not?
I'm concerned.
How you feel he been playing?
Hey, dude, I got to get out of here, bro.
Are you good?
Yeah, I gotta get out. But my only thing is, why you gonna ask me about Mitch right now? I want to.
I mean, you can answer real quick and go.
Okay. So for one, pay the man, pay him. Tibbs has been saying this stuff in the press conference. He's like, man, I don't know what we'll do without Mitch. Mitch is a great player, blah, blah, blah. Pay Mitch, man. Enough is enough, bro. Why we dragging this out towards the end of the season? Come on, front office, stop being ridiculous, right? Secondly, Mitch is not gonna be an offensive player. Period. Right. And this is the thing. And you hate to say definitive statements like that. Like you can't just say but if you watch Mitchell Robinson at the free throw line, I've seen all his free throws this season. And bro, his shot, he has what you call zero touch. And I think I said this before, because on some free throws, you can see the kind of art, and then other free throws it's a line drive. And so he can't figure out how he wants to. And so when you see guys like that, you know they're never going to be a 90% free throw shooter, an 80% free throw shooter. If we can get Mitch into the 60s, mid 60s, like 65, that'd be a win for us. But Mitchell Robinson has zero touch whatsoever. But I think Mitch can be a double-double guy and be perfect, exactly what we need for our team, right? I don't want to compare him to Gobert or Jordan or any of that. I think Mitch is a perfect fit for us. Personality-wise, athletics, he fits the athletic profile that we need, seeing that we have now I don't want to say stretch four, but we have a power forward that's not necessarily just a banger. We have a power forward that brings the ball up the floor and things of that sort. So next to him, you need a certain type player profile, and I think Mitch is that guy, right?
Mhm.
I would say the future of the organization is bright if we can keep Mitch healthy, but don't have unreasonable expectations for Mitch to be like, 19 points a game, 14 rebounds, 3-4 blocks, 40% from three. I don't ever see Mitch doing that. Now, if I'm wrong about this, then I'll be the first to admit. But I just want us to appreciate Mitchell Robinson for who he is, and his development. In my opinion, his development will be developing into an even better defensive player, developing into an even better rebounder, developing into an even better shot blocker. But in terms of Mitch shooting the three and people wanting Mitch to have like a mid-range, a 15-footer, I don't see that happening. Anyway, I'm going to get out of here on that note, man. Duke, you crazy for this, bro. Why you got everybody in this universe fighting, bro?
Yeah, everyone joined literally within like 30 seconds of each other. I mean, whatever happened.
All right, so salute everybody. Y'all be peaceful, man, and I'll see y'all later, man.
All right, peace out.
Peace.
Make sure to check out Blue and Sears. We got Afro Jedi here. What's good, Afro?
Hey, what's good, y'all? I'm just gonna be on mute for a little bit till I got something to say because I got my daughter with me right now. So, but man, y'all crazy today, man. I'm enjoying this.
Yeah, I appreciate it. What anyone got about Mitch? How you guys feel about Mitch?
He's between a rock and a hard place, man. The simple fact that his contract is up, but he has to show and prove. And I think that the stars are aligning in the worst way, right? You have a coach he'll play you if you can play. And he's come back from a fairly brutal injury in that Jones fracture, and he has to validate getting a payday, given the fact that you got guys like Robert Williams getting 54 for 4. You know what I mean? So he's looking for money, and it's tough for Mitch, man. Like it sounds crazy. I feel kind of bad for him. Like, God forbid he gets hurt, but like we were talking about his MBK, like the dude falls to the ground because he's trying to brace for impact, not because he's doofy or whatever. I think he legit doesn't want to land on that foot and get hurt even more. So I feel for him, man. It's it's the worst. Yeah, and you talking about a team that's they have playoff aspirations. That's tough, bro. Like it's tough, man. But and even the play yesterday with freaking Suggs, like that's not his fault. Like we always talk about Mitch jumping all around and landing on someone's foot the wrong way, and like that play is just unfortunate. He doesn't have a strong enough lower body to kind of brace those blows. Because a guy like Steven Adams, that's probably not going to happen to him. Like,
no, I'm gonna be honest though, you can't really brace that because he legit like stepped on his foot so bad with full speed.
Right. But what I'm saying is that like even stronger guys, like obviously anybody running to your foot is not going to end up too well. But I've seen guys like just overall, Mitch Robinson's body compared to some of these other big guys, like Steven Adams. I'm not saying Steven Adams has ever been hurt. Obviously, he has. It's just so brittle. So like any little bang play, and that could be a game changer for Mitch Robinson. So. Everything else, I mean, go ahead. Okay.
No, you good, Gmo. So really quick, what I just wanted to chime in because do y'all think that we should have traded Mitch when the Warriors were supposedly interested in Mitch? Do y'all think that we should have got rid of him at that point? Let me preface that by saying that I love Mitch. I love him. I don't love his injuries, though. And like Gmo said, every time he's falling to the ground, it looks like he's bracing himself for that contact, like he's about to get hurt again. And we can't take another season with Mitch getting hurt at a pivotal point in the season. Right now it's early, but like when it comes to like that mid-season, when those braces start to like still impact him, like, you know, after you bang up your knee a couple times, you know, even after you brace for it, you still get hurt. So my thing is, do y'all think that we should have traded Mitch to the Warriors if they were interested and got that number 2 pick? And then on top of that, if we move Mitch now, who do you think that we should target? And does that mean that Noel becomes our starting center and then Sims becomes our backup?
It's too late now, man. I wanted Miles Turner. It's too late now, man.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. Miles Turner would have been deadly over here, man.
Yeah, I wanted. Yeah, just like he said. I mean, I love Mitch, and I love Mitch so much, but I really wanted to trade him to the Warriors to get that second pick and get LaMelo, because I feel like LaMelo and RJ would have fit so perfectly together. And then Randall along with that, I feel like that 3 trio right there was going to be really good.
You know, you know what's crazy,
I'm pissed.
Hadouken?
What's up?
You thinking about LaMelo and RJ, but I'm thinking about LaMelo and D Rose. Like, imagine that 1-2 punch. LaMelo starts and then D Rose comes off the bench.
Yeah, no, that would be nice. And they could, like, I mean, they kind of both got the same thing. They got like killer floaters.
Yeah, and they could play off of each other, if you ask me. I think that they could play off of each other.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna lie. He would make like.
I was even the biggest fan of, like, well, honestly, I just thought he was a little bit overrated, man. But LaMelo kind of squashed all that, man. This dude is.
Yeah, he's nice.
Gonna be special for this
I'm watching them right now. But not yet. I feel like you see how he's doing the things with like Miles Bridges and PJ Washington. I feel like him coming here, if somehow like play with Obi while he was starting whatever, but Obi off the bench comes out and LaMelo still in the game, I feel like he would have helped. Oh wait, no, I'm lost because I forgot Obi was that 8th pick. Never mind about that. Let's not talk about that.
Yeah, I was about to say that'd have been a good trade if we would have kept 8 and got 2. Okay, all right.
Yeah, but even that, I would have traded quickly Obi. I would have traded that 25 and that the 8th pick and Mitch to get LaMelo easily.
Agreed.
100%.
Agreed.
I just don't think that trade was available though. I don't. Oh, sorry, I didn't cut you off, Afro. I just don't think that.
No, you good. No,
I don't think the Warriors are going to trade with us. I felt like the Warriors felt like they were stuck, but I don't think that Mitch thing was going to happen.
And also, I think that if it would happen, we would have been stuck with Wiseman, who's not a bad consolation prize, but I don't see Wiseman in this offense or defense.
I really don't know what. Wiseman still hurt too.
Yeah, Wiseman is still hurt. I don't know. I think we would have drafted LaMelo, to be honest. At that point, I feel like that would have only made sense to get him. If they got Wiseman, I don't know if I would have been mad or happy because I don't know how he would have like truly fit. I mean, I don't know. I feel like I'm just mad. I wish we got LaMelo because he's just killing. D Kula said trade for Aiden. If we trade for Aiden, we got to give him the max. He wants a 5-year max. He's going to go to the Pistons. He's going to go to the Pistons.
The Suns are going to have to pay him.
They're going to have to. Yeah.
With Sarver, they're going to have to pay him.
Got to put that flex seal on Mitch's leg.
You're
messed up with that.
Yo, y'all coming with the jokes tonight, man.
We wouldn't have traded the Slender Man. We know for the Slender Man, we don't. Oh, okay. Yeah, no, everyone's like trolling right now. Yeah, no, I love Mitch, but LaMelo, I would have definitely easily gotten LaMelo. I just knew like LaMelo was my favorite player out that draft, and that was the only player I wanted. And I already know, just like from seeing him now, like he's going off, and I just think he would have fit the team very well. Yeah. Other than that, I feel like we're done with the Magic game and like the players, but the next game we got going up, we're gonna kind of go through the predictions. How do you guys think we're going to do against the Sixers? Well, what is a key highlight to feature? And, like, are you guys worried about the defense? And do you think it's going to continue to struggle? Or do you think we're going to finally pick it up? How do you guys feel?
Me personally, I'm not too worried about the defense. It's RJ's offense that I'm worried about. I was speaking in my guy Bernard Futch. I don't know if he's in here, but shout out to my guy. And it's something with RJ with like I think that for RJ to take the next level, and this ties into the 76ers, because if he does this during this game, I think it's going to put him on notice. He needs to be a mid-range sniper. Like, everything from mid-range needs to be water. It was a couple shots last game that, like, he had wide open mid-range shots, or like,
Yeah, he got into 2 good mid-range shots, but he missed them.
yeah, exactly. And I think that if RJ shows up in that way during the 76ers game, I think we win that game. But if he doesn't show up that way, it's going to be a tough game, man. It's going to be a real tough game.
I'm sorry. CV the artist.
No, CV is funny.
He's
Nah, he finished 15.
This guy's a jerk, man. Such a CV the artist, man. I'm absolute jerk, man.
Yeah, no, I agree with you, Afro. Like, he was really good at mid ranges in Duke, and he really hasn't taken much in the NBA so far. But I'm hoping he can. Yeah, because he was saying he wants to see RJ become a sniper from the mid range as well, and that was like, for me, in my opinion, when watching him at Duke, that was like one of his main, like, best features of how he would get into that mid range and like create his shot for that, and his jumper was like really smooth with it. And I just think him coming into the Knicks in the first 2 years with the poor spacing he had, he didn't really attempt it that much. But I'm hoping he's gonna start doing it. I just hope his offense starts to build up, and then him just like getting into a flow of things next game. What do you think, Guillermo, about Philly?
You saw him take, what did he take, 2 yesterday?
Yeah, he got into it like on the left wing, and it looked like good shots. He just missed those shots.
Yeah, they were good. They were good shots. With RJ Barrett, again, it's like, it's weird because in a sense, like I keep saying, I would love for him to have that Jimmy Butler role, but I just don't think he's gonna have the usage. And when he's been getting the ball, even the one I'm remembering, maybe in second half, damn, I can't remember exactly which one it was. He caught the ball at the wing, drove to the elbow, and then took the shot, if I remember. So it's not as if he's just sitting there and, you know, trying to play make, and then his option, based on where everybody is take the mid-range shot. It's kind of like, because I keep talking about like plan A, plan B, where RJ Barrett takes his mid-range shots, and it seems like what they run from is more like, all right, this is the plan, shoot the shot. If you don't have it, just pass, versus, okay, fill it out, maybe take it back to your left if you're coming from your right, then take the shot then. But RJ Barrett, I mean, the form is there, it looks good, it's just not falling, so maybe it's a comfort thing. And again, with RJ Barrett, it seemed, at least from last season, he's just he's a slow starter, it seems. So, and I'll give him that credit, but RJ Barrett, let's see what happens, man. He did have some good looks, but I'm not too worried. My thing with RJ Barrett again is the finishing.
Let's get Eric.
That's my biggest not gripe, but my biggest concern.
This dude is violating.
Yeah, I feel you on that, G-Mo. I'm not liking his finishing so far this year. Like, it's things that I think it was in the first game against Boston. I'm not too sure, where he had like an easy lay, and instead he made it way more complicated by trying to like alter his shot or something like that. I'll come back to that. But anyways, what I'm saying is just like in the first 3 games, I haven't seen that finishing ability from RJ that we seen last year, you know. And I think it is in part to what you said. He's one of those guys that he got to get the steam before he becomes that locomotive. You know what I mean? He got to get that confidence throughout the season before he's like, yeah, I'm about to run down and dunk on this man. You know what I'm saying? Like, again, though, I really just feel like if he gets that mid-range, like on a DeMar DeRozan type level, if he gets it where it's like people are like game planning for RJ's mid-range, it's gonna really help the whole team, because everybody knows that he can shoot the 3, but people are giving him, like, when he's getting to that mid-range, I see people giving him space off of that shot. Not too much space, but they're not putting their hands up like as the ball is coming up from this hip, they're not putting their hands up. You know what I mean?
He's got to prove it, man. He's got to prove it. Like,
yeah,
they're gonna give you that. That's why, like in the NBA, like they'll give you spots. If you can't shoot, they'll give you space to shoot. If you can't finish, they'll dare you to be in one way, and then they'll just defend it, you know, properly and good enough for you. Like, they're not scared of you. I mean, so RJ Barrett, we talk about acceleration, all those things he working for summer. I'm not seeing it yet. So I'm probably not, because if he's not doing it, he wasn't doing the preseason, he wasn't doing the regular season, he's not doing it now. So it's just a thing of hopefully he gains a little bit more touch. You saw the floaters he took yesterday. He just has an awkward game when he's trying to finish and go up to the basket. So again, like one small tweak, I just don't know if he's going to get it this season. Because then now you think about the extension, right? Are you going to pay RJ Barrett the extension? based on potential, I mean, I don't know, man. But hopefully, who we have tomorrow? We have the Sixers.
And
Yeah,
that's where,
Sixers.
my bad, Gmo, but that's one of my biggest worries. I don't want to extend him based on potential, and then we get pigeonholed into that contract.
I mean, he's probably gonna get the money anyway, just because everybody's getting money.
Yeah, they throwing money. They throwing money this year, man.
Jaren
Yeah, they're
Jackson,
giving everyone money.
Jackson has like a
Show
clause for
still
injury,
on. My bad.
Now you good? Oh yeah, no. Yeah, we got the Sixers.
wait.
I don't know. Cully, how you think we're gonna do against the Sixers?
The Sixers, I think, should be well, there's no Simmons, but you know, Embiid. You know, it's funny. Usually, Mitch kind of matches up with Embiid. He actually matches up with him well. The last games I saw, to my knowledge. So that's, you know, Embiid is the heart and soul of that team. He's probably gonna be the only problem. I don't really see anybody else playmaking outside of him. There's guys that can make plays, but not as good as him. They don't draw as much attention. You know, like Seth Curry is solid. He can heat up. Danny Green can heat up. But I don't think there's no worries. I'll be right back.
Yo, I don't know. I think that I really hope we get a win. I'm gonna be honest. I feel like we're gonna have a close game. I think it's gonna be within 5, within 10. I don't think it's gonna be a blowout. But I really hope that we win this game. I think it's gonna be a tough game. No matter what, the next few games are gonna be tough, and we just have to be on point, run some plays. People can't just miss every single wide open shot. We can't go 37 for 100 again, because that's just unacceptable. You can't just miss 63 shots in a 4-quarter game. Like, that's just crazy to me.
Hey,
but
y'all,
I don't know.
I gotta go feed my daughter, but I'm gonna still be watching, man. Salute to all y'all. Salute to the chat, man.
It's good, bro. Appreciate you. We're about to end off either way in a few minutes.
Copy.
I appreciate you for watching, bro. Bless you. Yeah, no, but yeah, I feel like it's gonna be a close game. I'm just really hoping we get this win, because if we get this win, this is really big for us, especially off this loss, this horrible loss. I feel like we should get a lot more power, and a lot more people have the will to really win this game. Guillermo, what you think? You think we're gonna win or lose?
It's a tough one, bro. Thank God we don't have Ben Simmons to play, because he typically has at least a good first 3 quarters against it, then 4th quarter kind of fades away. But you know, his defense, his pace has been a problem for us in the past. Joel Embiid is, I think, key. Thank God.
All right, my bad. I'm back. Y'all still here?
Yeah.
Oh, my fault. Who was talking? Somebody was talking? My bad.
Yeah, Guillermo.
Yeah, Dwight
All
Howard.
right, my fault,
Dwight
Gmo.
Howard
Go ahead, do your thing, bro.
Dwight Howard has given us issues in the past, but you know, Dwight Howard with the 76ers gave us issues last season. It's a tough one. I think we could win this one, because I don't think Shake is playing as well too. I think he's out.
Yeah, I really pray we win this game. I feel like we have a good chance to really be winning this game, but I'm not really sure.
Drummond ain't nothing to worry about.
It's a home game too,
with
yeah.
Embiid and Seth Curry. You can't allow them to have like an inside out game with him, Tobias
too.
Gotta guard the perimeter, man.
Danny Green doesn't get hot too much. I'm just hoping he doesn't get hot. He's been playing okay, nothing crazy. But Seth Curry has been going off.
Tyrese Maxey may be one to watch.
Yeah, he's been doing decent too. He's starting right now. I mean,
he could.
I'm not gonna lie. Tyrese Maxey might do good against Kemba.
Right, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Kemba got no defense.
The elite guards of the NBA, especially.
They both got no defense though. That's the thing. So they both gonna be a good matchup on the offensive end against each other.
Right.
But yeah, I feel like we should do. I feel like we could win this game. I just feel like no matter what, it's gonna be within 10 points. I don't think it's gonna be a blowout, nothing like that. I feel like it's gonna be a tough fought game. Do
you think if Julius Randle's matched up against you think Julius Randle's gonna try to force his shots this game?
I hope not. I feel like I don't.
He have his way with him.
He always has a few
Harris, Tobias Harris last season in that one game, but
he struggled a little against Harris actually.
In that game, that one that he was driving on Harris.
Yeah, he did good, but there was just some plays where Tobias Harris was annoying him in certain possessions. But I think he'll have a good game, to be honest.
I remember late in that game he was decent, but then Dwight Howard came with the help defense.
Yeah, and they don't got Dwight anymore. They got Drummond, but I think Drummond is out because of injury.
I don't think Drummond's. I'm gonna say I don't think he's gonna be effective like that against us. But you never know.
Yeah, you never know because he always decides to do good against us no
A guy
matter
like
what.
a guy like Korkmaz would give us problems. A random guy like him, you know what I mean? A guy like Korkmaz. I don't think Shake is playing like Gmo said. I don't know, but Shake ain't really been.
What's good, D Puppy?
Is he hurt?
Yeah, Shake. I think I might be wrong. I think it's right ankle sprain, something like that.
Right. Yeah, it
Like,
was something like that.
Shake is one that could go off, but I don't think But
They
You
said
know,
no.
Harris was a problem, but they both played well. At the end of the game, he was a little bit of a problem. 2 days ago it was 18.
I think Randall will neutralize Harris though.
No, ultimately, I'm staying positive. I never said it was 82-0. Like, don't get that wrong, because I never said that. I said we're going 48-34. I said we're going 48-34. Don't worry. I'm
Even
just
if
saying.
we down.
Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead, Duke. My fault.
No, I was saying that I'm not scared. Like, I'm not scared, but I'm just saying that I do think that this is gonna be a within 10 game. I think we should win this game, but no matter what, it's gonna be within 10. I don't think this is a game where we let go or let a team just come back and show no effort on defense and no power. I feel like this is gonna be a hard fought win. If we do win, which I really think that we should win this game. If we win this game and go 3-1, it's gonna be the best thing for us. Because that Magic game, I feel it's just gonna give these guys another reason to really show out for this game. If they weren't gonna come into this game before, if we did beat the Magic like with high thought about it, like, oh, we gotta fight hard for this game no matter what. Now they really have something to fight for after losing that game. So I do think these guys have to win this game and really try. But yeah, other than that, that's basically all we have for today. To be honest, we're gonna play them tomorrow. I think at 7:30. Let me check to make sure. Yeah, we're playing them at 7:30 on TNT. We're both 2-1. They played the Nets, lost to the Nets. That's their only loss so far. But they were actually up that game and choked that lead. But whoever loses this game is 2-2, and then whoever wins is 3-1, and hopefully we're on the positive end right there. Shout out to everyone that was watching. So shout out to everyone that's still watching and is going to watch on the replay. Make sure to smash that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and turn that notification bell on. Make sure to check out Guillermo. Shout out to Ethan. Shout out to Uncle Fulio, and shout out to Afro who pulled up to the panel. I appreciate you guys for watching, and we'll see you guys on Wednesday. Peace.
Pretty sure y'all be easy, man.